Okay.
You know, after you carve pumpkins, you bend over her pumpkin, you eat that bitch.
Straight up ass latte.
Pumpkin ass latte. You know?
Pumpkin spiced ass latte.
I love when you see that video where like the girl like put her ass all in frosting, and then like you see the dude afterwards, and he just has frosting everywhere. Like he just dove in. He just dove into some booty.
That's how Steve Aoki's caking people down, bro. It's just like ass. Who's still willing to do it? There would still be so many.
I got pink eye.
Who else is like, yes?
Okay.
We live, baby.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in.
We back again.
Welcome to the shit show.
Standard Monday cast. We never miss a good Monday. We've always been reliable on Mondays, guys.
That's
you
loud.
can always establish that we're being on a Monday.
Or two. I mean, we've been good on Tuesdays recently too. We've been on like that, like
I don't think we're on Tuesdays. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like recently been on like that two-way Tuesday type of thing. That LeBron James Taco Tuesday podcast Tuesday shit. You know what I'm saying?
A straight up back to back, dog.
Been back to back.
I love how LeBron and the Lakers win that preseason game versus the Warriors. And it's just like their account post beware. This is like, what the fuck?
What'd you say?
They beat the Warriors in a preseason game. The Lakers.
Yeah.
And then Twitter like posted it's like beware. It's like, what the hell? Like their guys ain't even playing. You got like a bunch of nobodies out there, and you guys just out here yelling at things.
And didn't LeBron do like some like heartfelt speech about Anthony Davis? He was just like, just felt good about be out there with one of my bros for a long time, just playing, connecting spiritually on the court. Like it was something like deep and heartfelt like that. Like everyone was praising recently. I think it was that same win when they beat the Warriors. You know,
I wonder. I didn't see that, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cool regardless. I like to see the camaraderie. That's all that matters. Just want to see two teammates get along on a court and win some championships. You know,
maybe he's basically saying, AKA, it feels good to have someone of my level. You know,
right? Exactly.
In this talent range, at least.
Exactly. Like for once, you have like.
Well, not for once, right? Not for once.
Well, recently. Recently?
Yeah, I mean, recently. Well,
you know, I mean, like I'm saying for like the last 2 or 3 seasons, you know.
He was a stud.
But yeah, I'm not talking Miami Heat days. Of course, he had, Bosh. He had,
yeah. Well, then you're talking.
Uslam, Haslam.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't put him up in the contest with the rest of them, but
no, but I mean, like the team overall had good role players and it had good stars.
Yeah, but just as far as upper echelon, he has played with some upper echelon. You know, he had Irvin, he had Love, so he's fell with them guys. But of course, I think Davis is probably maybe there is a chemistry, and he's also on that level. Where exactly. With Irvin, maybe he was like, "Oh, you're on that level," but
I mean, you see, you got like Anthony Davis, you got him chilling over LeBron's house, Taco Tuesday and shit, just like chilling, hanging out, just building good teammate chemistry.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, where was his girl?
Who, LeBron's or Anthony Davis? Is he married? I don't think he's married to anything.
You ever seen that really weird video of him?
I don't know. Where like he's getting like at Kentucky.
Yeah, his ass.
Yeah, like someone's playing with his ass.
What's up with that?
And he's like, He was like,
What's that?
Everyone like it came out for a while, but then like everyone pushed that under the carpet. Everyone just literally just shoved it on the carpet to the wayside. Yeah, I mean, like I don't see it that much anymore, but like when it was out there.
I feel like every time like Davis makes news, that comes up. Everybody's just like,
I think that's just like that's just one of those college sorority basketball things. You're just like you're getting Kansas City initiation, couple fingers in your booty hole.
100%.
Who am I to judge? I don't know.
100% not agreeing, bro. I want to say wrong place, wrong time. Maybe he didn't know the camera was there. Like they're just doing some funny shit. Then he's just like doing that. Then he looks up, cameras there.
Funny shit as far as playing with the ass though. Like
they weren't playing with his ass. I thought
they were
near.
No, they were definitely messing with his ass.
They were trying to get.
They were doing some weird shit.
They were trying to get to him. Maybe he had like a towel or something.
Yeah.
They were trying to get through the towel.
It was weird.
It was definitely weird.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I brought it up because it was weird. But I'm just saying, like maybe he didn't know someone was filming.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm trying to say.
But then he puts it in his face. He's like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he acknowledges that.
I don't know. That could also be a nervous reaction.
He's having a fun time getting his booty hole played with. I don't think
it was.
Do what you gotta do to win some championships.
They didn't.
Well, he was trying. He thought that might get him somewhere. You know?
But
that's how you stimulate game performance.
Listen, I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm saying literally for the sake of humanity, I'm hoping you're wrong. I'm hoping that's not that.
What's humanity got to do with this?
AD is life.
What's that got to do with anything, man?
AD is life, bro. AD is life.
He's my partner.
You're my partner, bro.
He hold me down this backcourt.
I don't know what that was. Seriously, though.
Yeah, the whole thing was awkward, but I mean, like, it didn't affect him. It didn't affect his career at all. I mean,
what do you think it was supposed to do?
I mean, it's like, why else would it come out? You know, I mean, maybe someone wanted to make a quick buck, and I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think probably the person that recorded it posted it and was like, "This motherfucker Anthony Davis gay as shit earlier."
But wasn't it out like when it came out later after he got drafted? So like a year later.
I remember that.
You know. Like a whole year later, wasn't it?
You might be right, but I didn't think so. I think that came out when it happened.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was like a whole year later. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't. Then again, I don't know. You know, am I some type of memeologist or meme historian?
Well, let's get down. You want to get down to greasy theories? You want to get down to greasy theories? Let's get down.
Grease me up.
Greasy theories. Let's talk greasy theories, okay? So today,
hypotheticals.
Today, not hypothetical. We got facts.
Factual basis.
Today, Jay Gruden
facts
got fired from the Redskins. And did you see the video that came out about him?
What was he? It was when he was like hollering at wasn't he like in some type of casino?
No, he's like outside and he's talking to this really young teen girl.
Yeah, trying to holler at her. Yeah,
smoking weed. Yeah. He smokes some. Well, I mean, what you assume is weed.
I mean, like, what else could it be? Yeah, maybe some CBD shit. Who
all
knows?
Of that is over 2 years old, right? Everybody thinks it just happened, but it didn't. It's over 2 years old in Barstool Sports. You know that place, right?
Yeah.
They originally got the video, right? They leaked it to the Redskins, right? They didn't leak it. Well, they sent it to the Redskins and they said, look, we're going to leak it unless you get one of your coaches to wear a Barstool's sports jersey during game day, right? They basically trying to blackmail him or something like
exactly,
that, right?
You know?
They never responded. Redskins never responded. So Barstool just was like, we're just bluffing. They never did nothing with the video.
That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. Now all of a sudden Washington loses another game. Redskins ain't looking good. Out of nowhere, video gets leaked. So the greasy theory is that the Redskins leaked that video.
So that they could fire him.
Possibly the owner.
So they could fire him.
Huh.
I mean, I can see it, man. I mean, it's a very powerful tool when people have at their disposal when they're able to set something up like that, especially if they got something on you.
The weird thing is
you don't know they got that on you.
What did he do wrong?
He didn't do anything wrong.
Nothing.
No. But I could see why someone, especially in like an NFL setting, could make grounds for that and make a case and actually be able to do it.
Why?
Huh?
Why? I mean, being secretly recorded.
I mean, like, so
the person's like listen. Away.
I'm not saying I agree with anything that they've done, but I'm like, I can see how the organization would have something like this set up and in play to where they're able to, like, you know, bring something like that up and fire someone, you know, on those grounds.
For me, I mean, I don't think it should be legal. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think he did nothing wrong, and I also think it's skeptic. You know, it's real sketchy. Just the fact that, like I'm saying, listen. If Jay Gruden comes out of the bar, he comes out of fucking Rodos, right? And he's just like, "Who wants to fuck?" And he's smoking a joint.
So Jay
Gruden grounds the fire.
But this is the thing.
I could find anyone in the league and film them without them knowing and have something that they should get fired for.
Okay, so most employers, you know, pretty much every employer in any employee setting where you're employed by anybody, they have the right to terminate, you know, employment at any given time, just like, you know, you have the right to terminate your employment anytime, you know, by yourself and just move on. I would imagine, like, you know, like this is just how they have it set up. You know, I would imagine it's a similar thing where just like, you have this loophole you're able to use, and then you're able to get out a contractual obligation or something to null and void it and move on.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all know that about
being
able to quit and be fired. We know that, but what I'm saying is, if that is the case,
I don't think it should be like that at all. It
shouldn't be. Oh, the video got leaked. You're fired because the video is nothing. You know what I mean? It should have been. It should have been.
It should be your shitty.
You're 0-5.
Bad job.
We gotta let you go.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm sure there's some type of like something in the contract where like, oh, we can fire you for not doing good at any time. I mean, like I don't think there's anything like where you're
in DC where literally it's legal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not worried about anything. Yeah, I'm not worried about what he did at all. You know, I mean,
he's a good coach too, man. I like Jay. I like Jay Gruden. I think he did a lot with that team.
Yeah, but I mean, like
shitty ass organization.
Yeah, the Redskins are definitely a terrible organization
of all time.
They're
so bad. Bro.
There's gonna be Amy listening. You know, her boyfriend Mike. He's a big Redskins fan.
I'm sorry for you, dude.
Sorry, Mike.
They're the worst, bro. They're honestly.
You got behind the Browns.
For me, yeah, because they've been around longer.
Yeah, true.
Right? Well, no. Because if you go to Cleveland, just switched owners, right? They didn't technically move. Yeah. They were always Cleveland. Yeah. So they probably been around just as long as the Redskins. But regardless, man, they just been that owner is just shit, dude. Like Snyder, he's just shit. The GM is shit. I mean, it's just a horrible organization that just never has reached the pinnacle of success. Can't stay competitive, can't draft, signs bad. Bro, you know what I mean? You know what I remember? I remember literally being a kid. Albert Hainsworth. $100 million contract. First one ever. Redskins. Titans is who Albert played for. He played for the Titans, a DT.
And they brought him on.
Great player. Redskins signed him in free agency. $100 million. He didn't do a fucking thing for that team. He didn't do shit, bro. He just got fat as shit. And he couldn't even play. He got Russell style. Jamarcus Russell style.
$100 million out right there.
It's funny how, like, when they're guaranteed that kind of money, it's like, I can get as fast as I want. I'm just going to show up. You got to fire me. And you fire me, I get the money.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That's terrible. I mean, don't they have, like, performance obligations nowadays?
Now they do. Now they do. Now it's ever since they did the little rookie salary thing.
Did they name the rule after him?
You got to be a certain amount of weight now.
Yeah.
Then you get fined.
And also with like social media, like people put you on blast for coming back looking big. Like I remember, like it was that one running
Michael
back.
Pierce.
That one running back came on. It was just like
came back. Eddie Lacy.
30, 40 pounds, just looking sloppy.
But this year was Michael Pierce, the DT for the Redskins. Yeah. I mean Ravens. They just showed pictures of him. They said it was like 3 sets. They didn't even let him do the practice. They said it was dangerous for him to do the practice.
Jesus Christ, man!
What
the hell?
Great player.
I mean, like when you're working,
half of the being like 350.
Yeah, when you're doing that year round and you only get a certain amount of time off, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think nobody is a natural 350.
Oh no, you're
force eating.
Yeah, well, and supplements out the ass. Supplements
you can't
out
supplement
the ass.
Everything though.
Bro, you can supplement a lot nowadays, man.
You gotta eat, bro. If you're not eating,
that's the thing. They eat plenty. But I mean, on top of that, naturally, the food would get big alone.
I'm just saying.
But with the supplements on top of that, we have protein, we have creatine.
I'm just saying when they eat, I don't think they always want to.
I think it's the other way around. I think they do want to eat like at that moment because I mean, I think they just came off like a 2-hour workout practice. They've been working out 4 or 5 days out of the week, getting ready for the preseason or something like that.
They're 350.
Yeah, but I mean, your body's also requiring a lot more calories overall.
You've got to eat probably 6 meals a day.
If you're an active 350 guy, I imagine you're taking at least 7,000, 8,000 calories.
Does anybody even want to chew that much, dude?
I mean, that's what like The Rock eats like 10,000 calories a day.
But that's big time shakes and shit.
Michael Phelps, I know he eats like 10 meals a day. If you look at The Rock's diet, like he eats literally like 10. Like he'll eat like a fucking like 2 ounce or like.
I'll guarantee you most of it comes from the shakes though, bro. Because I just watch countless of these World's Strongest Men's like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And all of them at home. That's pretty much all that their calorie supplement is like.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's the food and the supplement on top of that. It's like,
well, they're just make shakes. You know,
the food alone,
2,500 calorie shake.
The food alone will get you bigger. It will take you longer, but the shakes get you bigger way quicker because you just get.
Yeah, I'm just saying that has to go on top of something.
Man. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, the food alone will get you big, but the food with that supplement on top. That's where the NFL comes in.
Nobody wants to eat as much as it takes.
I guarantee a lot of those NFL players are using creatine. throughout the
I would
season.
hope that's not legal.
Creatine?
Yeah.
Creatine's a legal supplement, man. People work out on creatine all the time.
I would hope it's not legal in the NFL. Supplement. Weed's legal. It's not legal in the NFL.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it is. Because all it is it's a nutrient, like a nutrition area. I don't think that's the word. Supplement.
It's funny because the word that the drug that they're all addicted to is like one that we don't even know about. It's like called like Trubinol.
Is it Kratom?
It's like Trubinol or something like that.
Is it like a painkiller?
Yeah,
it's opiate, isn't it?
That's what all football players are addicted to apparently. Also Adderall. Adderall is a big thing.
I remember back in the day they used to do like that shot in your nose. It was like fill you like or some it was like some type of shot, some type of like painkiller shot.
Oh, cortisone shot?
Some type of shit like that.
Yeah, they still pop them out.
Well, I mean it's something that's illegal nowadays. Like they would just literally shoot you up with some type of like painkiller.
They still do that.
And to send you back on the field. They still do
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think you can't do it like during game and shit like that. But they do that day of. People still do that day of. You got a bad knee, you're definitely getting a cortisone shot.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I don't think it's the cortisone though. It's some type of painkiller.
I'm saying you're getting a cortisone.
I think cortisone.
It could be whatever you're saying.
I think it's a medical steroid. So that's something.
Cortisone's a painkiller.
Is it painkiller? You sure?
I'm pretty sure. They all treat it like a painkiller.
I think it's a steroid. It just helps,
It's got to play something into that. Because they're always like, oh, I got that cortisone shot in my back. Now I can play. Like. You just a shot of stem cells in that bitch. And you just feel fired up.
Yeah, cortisone is a pregnane steroid hormone. So it is one of the main hormones released by the adrenal gland in response to stress. Cortisone.
So look it up. Does it kill pain though?
I'm sure it assists with pain because the steroid will help like jumpstart the area.
Yeah, but this is something that this is like they take that right away.
Fast acting relief of inflamed muscles, joints, tendons, and bursa.
Yeah, okay, I got it. It's mainly I know a lot of people use it on their knees.
Yeah.
Big old banged up, flamed up knees.
I'm sure they're just inflamed as fuck. You've been working them out all week. They're just inflamed as shit.
All week, dog? You mean all your life?
Yeah.
300 carries a season since you were 8?
You've had knee pain, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about
it. It just got worse.
Listen, here's the thing about a running back. You can't name a position that gets hit more.
Yeah, man. Like especially
they're literally taught to stay in bounds most of the time. They're like, don't run out, duck your shoulder.
That and you're running at people who are running at you.
To rock you, yes,
all the time.
So I guess you could say like linemen because they collide every time.
The ones that
as far as going to the ground,
that make me cringe a lot, or like when you see the back try and jump the line to go into the end zone, and then they're met with like 3 guys are just like boom, and you just like see them like rock into them on top of the pile and get stopped.
It's crazy when you just listen to the mics, yo. You just listen to the mics. Like people don't listen to the real sounds, right? Because people were like, they're like, oh, this person's mic'd up. Listen to a person mic'd up. And don't pay attention to what that person's saying. Don't pay attention to what anybody else is saying.
Noise around them.
Just straight up the noise that is made when hut is called. That's what it is. It's literally 10 to 12 men just running fucking full speed. And then you hear like, huh, and that means you just got finesse moved. And it's like
you see someone get pancaked. Like you see that one dude who blitzed, like he came in, he like stopped for a second. And the one dude shifted over just a small hair. He bit, and he literally just like went in like he was running, stopped, like literally just like casually, and then just ran back in again. The dude totally bit, ran right around him. Did not block him at all.
I did see one before though with
man.
George Kittle, the tight end from 49ers.
Smart.
There's like this one time where he's like, Coach came up to me, Kyle. He's like, Kyle came up to me. He's like, as soon as you say hut, I just want you to dive on the ground. He's just like, give it a sec and go. He's like, sure enough, he went out there. I watch all these tape breakdowns.
He dove on the ground.
He just dove at nothing.
Yeah.
And just fall on the ground. The guy goes away. He gets up and takes off right down the middle. There was another really cool one where he's like, I was about to run, it's like a route, like an out route, go up like 10, 15, then cut towards the sideline.
Yeah.
But it was a fake. So it's sideline back to the middle. He's like, and he's like, his coach told him, when you make that right cut, I want you to look at the sideline. And when you look at the sideline, the safety will leave you. I guarantee it. Sure enough, bro, it's not even a second. He basically runs that route, right? He's running like this. He turns, and when he turns, he looks this way. You know how if you were going this way, like an amateur and you're running that route, you're kind of always right here.
You might just step that way. You don't. Back,
He sold it. He looked this way. He got it. The safety immediately goes over to that side. Bam! He comes right back in. It's like for a touchdown. Though. It's so dirty.
It's that one step, bro.
Dude,
that one step.
It's like
see people get lost.
Here's the thing, though. Great play and everything. Lost. His coach, football genius, bro. Football genius, though. I love listening to that stuff. A lot of that stuff can really help people in warfare too. I'm telling you. Like I was listening to Joe Thomas one about gaps and shit, and he's just like, they're like, why didn't you just bulldoze this guy when you had him on the side? He's like, you can try and bulldoze people. It doesn't always mean they move. He's like, you hit somebody in the hips, they always move. Nobody can not get hit. They get in the hips and stay still.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
So he's like showing like a lot of times when someone's already engaged in a block, he just hits them right in the hip. Knocks them over, and they're just like gone. You lose all your power.
Yeah,
all your power's in your hips, really.
It's deflected and like thrown. That's like with like judo, like the hip toss.
Right. If you can't shift,
effective with
what do
like
you got?
The momentum, exactly. With shifting momentum over, like hip to hip, pretty much. You're shifting their momentum from their hip on your hip, just boom.
They were showing this really cool one that I can't say the guy's name, like Ginano Kooki or whatever.
That was pretty good though.
Something like that.
That's not bad though.
Yeah, something like that. The end for the Jaguars.
I wouldn't know where to begin with something like that.
And he got like this move where like when he blitz in, like the guy goes, the guard go block him, and the tackle go block him. Here, smack the hand down hard as shit. And as soon as he smacks your hand with like, so he goes like this, left hand.
Yeah.
As soon as you do that, he smacks your hand down and takes his right hand and he hits you right in the back of the shoulder. And he just turns these grown ass men, bro. These 300-pound men. Like he smacks their hand down and just hits them right in the fucking shoulder and they're just like, and he's gone. Yeah. And it hits him so hard, bro.
Yeah. It's
imagine how much that hurts. You know what? After watching that, I believe that kid James Dean's stories about those bruises. He probably didn't get beat up at home.
It's just straight line.
He probably was just guys like, smacking the fuck out of his arms.
He's smacking other people too,
right? Trying to deal with that and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just smacking someone
smack
as well.
Fest.
It's like
it's shroom fest.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool seeing like defensive ends like come around like outside on the block because they get real low on the guy's hip and just trying to come around him real quick. Like
James Harrison, bro, best I ever seen, dog. Literally. A 90-degree angle.
That guy.
A 90-degree angle.
That guy was stupid, bro. Like,
but like a brick shit house.
Yes. Like literally, you're looking at him, you're just like, you're not winning that battle 1-on-1 with that guy, man. Like, he's tall, but he's low to the ground.
How like you
low center of gravity. Just
football with that guy, but like a fighter would look at that guy and go, "Easy win." You know what I mean? Ain't that funny how it goes like that? Like, oh, bro, what's he gonna do? Swing as hard as he can for 2 minutes?
I'm thinking, what are his advantages in basketball? Football. Football.
He's got the advantages of football.
That's what I'm saying. He has all the.
He does like 800 leg presses.
All that
800-pound leg presses.
All the aspects and all the talents you want in a football player. He's trained and honed over the past couple of years. So of course he's been like this particular thing.
When you're
fighting
that
is like
big,
so much more different.
No, I'm saying like what I'm saying is even if he's that shape, and he becomes a professional fighter, he never does football. He's that shape, but he does fighting.
Like a Brock Lesnar guy.
Still, most people ain't worried about him. Like unless he's like a wrestler or something like that. That like there's a gold medalist or some type of that can like just gonna overpower you, hold you down, beat you up. Bro, because people that big. They don't throw straight punches.
You see, Cain Velasquez went to WWE to fight Brock Lesnar.
You ever seen a big guy throw punches there? It's just like this.
Yeah, it's just
like they literally can't throw like this. They can't throw these.
No.
It's just, and if you get hit, you're out.
Power. It's all power. But then they gas themselves real quickly.
They will gas
themselves. That's like one thing like my mom would always say. She was like, I don't want to see these like fat ass fucking like this fat dude just go out for 2 seconds and then call it a fight. Like
that's like with the betting and shit. Everybody's always just like, don't bet any big money on heavyweights ever.
Yeah,
because it's just like they're just too fat.
she like those light heavyweights, the middleweights. She liked all the flyweight fights and boxing and shit. All the lightweight fights.
It was a tough night for the boy Bobby Knuckles Saturday. Man, Izzy knocked his ass out.
Talking about Stylebender?
Yeah, Stylebender knocked Robert Whittaker out, man. It was tough, man. I really wanted Robbie to win.
I thought his entrance was hilarious.
I just thought that was so corny, man.
It was cringy.
People like it.
I'm just
like, that's horrific.
But it was hilarious.
But you knocked someone out. So
exactly.
You knocked out champion also. Yeah. Really weird fight, man. Once again, like I'm not a fighting expert at all, bro.
You sure?
But that fight is weird, bro. When you watch that fight, like
fight expert.
I've watched 100 fights. Fight expert. But so Izzy's 6'4". He's 185 at 6'4". That's hard to deal with no matter what. And he's super skilled. I noticed that nobody goes to this guy's body. I swear that's the way to beat Stylebender, is for somebody to start kicking that goddamn body. He doesn't move his bottom, bro. He moves his top. He knows. Maybe with somebody taller, he would respect it. I don't think nobody should go leg kicks or nothing. I literally think someone should just whip body kicks at him. And when you get in close, don't aim for the face. He's too lanky up there. He's literally like, watch the Robert Whittaker knockout. He misses a punch on Robert. Robert goes, this is my chance. KO punch. By the time he throws that KO punch, Izzy literally leans back so far. He misses the punch. Izzy throws from here. Lean back. Knocks him out, dog. That's not an awesome power shot. That's not a crazy power shot. It's the fact that Robert missed his previous shot.
Yeah, it was a counter.
Super open right there, right?
Exactly.
The whole time, Robert's not as big as that. He's missing 7 inches reach. That's always tough, right? He doesn't he doesn't utilize his
7 inches?
7 inches. He doesn't try to utilize his wrestling at all, though, right? He doesn't. People have tried. Low-level people have tried.
Though, man.
No one is. The thing is, right? So when you're fighting someone that big, right?
Rod can take him.
You got to close the distance. Yeah, Rod. I know you could knock him out, right?
Rod can totally knock him out.
When you got that, when you have those two people, you have to figure out how to close the distance, right? So Robert has to figure out how to close distance on Izzy. Izzy don't have to find out how to close distance on Robert. He can hit him from here.
Exactly.
Robert got to get in there. Robert was doing this beautiful thing, but it's a very basic thing where people will come in, they'll throw like this left shot real quick. They'll throw a right overhand, and then the right overhand isn't even meant to hit. It's like meant to miss. And they throw this head kick that follows it. No one in the world is going to hit Izzy with that head kick. Watch the one head kick that Izzy got hit with. It's from Kevin Gosselin, who's 5'9". Yeah. And the reason he did it is because it was a straight up shot. He didn't sell it or nothing, no other way.
Right.
He got Izzy scared of the hands. Bam. You didn't see that coming. These guys are setting it up. Izzy is a skilled striker. When he sees that lazy overhand, he knows it's not meant to hit. He knows it's getting followed by a head kick, bro. Let me just sum this up. I got you. So Robert gets in his pocket. So he's finding a way. He's throwing this jab, and he's getting in Izzy's pocket. When he gets in Izzy's pocket, he's going for the head.
Ain't taking no change.
He's going for the head. He's not taking nothing. I think he hit Izzy like twice, good. Like, that was it. He goes for the fucking head, and all Izzy does is lean back, which can be very dangerous for tall guys. They're known for getting knocked out for that. But regardless of that, if you attack something different, his pocket, once again, I'm not a fight analyst. Izzy's pocket, to me, is there to be entered. He lets people enter that pocket. They are not doing nothing with it. Kevin had the most success because he got short reach, compact boxing. When he got in Izzy's pocket, he went for the face, but it's a crisp, short arms that got there quick. He wasn't trying all this leg shit and everything. That one leg kick is always through. It's all hands. These other guys that have the power to knock Izzy out, they're getting in the pocket, and they're not utilizing wrestling or body shots.
So in your eyes, what does Robert Whittaker have to do in that fight to kind of alter it his way and take it his way? Do you even think he could do something like that?
It's 100% established. Robert Whittaker, number one, needs to fight more. His timing is very weird.
Is he what is his record? Like 20-13 or something?
He's got a great
What is it?
He's the champion. He's like 24 and probably 5 now after the Izzy loss. Yeah, he's a champion. He's beat great men.
I'm talking to Whittaker, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great fighter. The problem is he keeps getting hurt. He's only fought 2 times in 18 months or something like that. Some crazy shit like that. Like, he didn't fight from October to the next December.
Right, that's not good.
You know what I mean? He missed like 14 months. He's having these problems. And like they say, like, you missed your timing. You know what I mean? Like, you could spar, but it's not a fight.
You're not in a good...
Yeah, where Izzy fought 7 times in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever it was. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying. 18 months.
No real damage to him,
No real, except for the Kevin fight. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Kevin had success, and people think that, I'm going to have success how Kevin had success. No. You got to figure out what Kevin did and then how you use that when your skill set. You don't do what Kevin did. You know what I mean? Like, Kevin fights Izzy again. Kevin doesn't win that fight. He doesn't even go to the 5th round. It's a way easier fight.
Emulate it.
Exactly. Use what he did good.
So why emulate?
You know what I'm saying? Rob has a talent. Number one, I would say Rob has to fight more. Number two, I would say Rob has to get out of that gym that he's in because he's just up there in fucking whatever Australia, New Zealand. They've got no other guys up there to train.
Not doing
with.
good. Not doing good.
There's no one to train with. There's no one else
at
the camp.
We were talking about that last time.
You go to Izzy's camp, right? It's about who you train with, bro. That's how good you are. You're as good as the people you train with. You know what I mean? Izzy is up there training with all types of heads. They're bringing heavyweights for him. He's got Dan Hooker there. He's got Kaka France there. He's got Brad Riddell there. He's got hella people there. You know who's in Robert Whitaker's camp? Robert fucking Whitaker. That's it. And there's these dudes that just do these little certain shit with them. That's not going to get it done, dude. It's not going to get it done. You got to get out of there.
You need other fighters to come in. You need other fight views, other fighters' experiences, and other fighters' perspectives on particular things. That overall helps your training, especially when you're fighting someone who is. You're slated to lose the match. You're
already hard enough to emulate.
You're expected to lose the match. So you need other eyes, especially when he has all these people coming in. You really are taking a disadvantage when you're not also matching that.
You're better bringing in a 6'4" guy that can't even fight just to go in there and do rounds
with the length
than be hitting mitts.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you've hit mitts for 10 years, dog. Your hands are crisp. You need to figure out how to deal with that
length,
that lean back and the lean back. The fucked up thing is Romero beat Whitaker in the second fight. Everybody fucking noticed
So does Robert's wrestling help him in Izzy's case? Does it help him at all?
If he used it? You know what I mean?
But isn't he at a disadvantage because of his length?
No, not at all. If you know proper fundamentals in wrestling, you're taking anybody down.
Do you think Rod's Greco-Roman has any chance for anything that Stylebender has to throw at him?
Rod's Greco-Roman, I would say, even if Izzy did get Rod down, how's he going to handle Rod off his back? Because Rod's elbows, the triangle chokes, arm bars. He smacks him up in a moment's notice.
He has some good Greco.
I think Rod's the favorite versus Izzy or Rod Whitaker.
I wasn't expecting that. I'm taking the counter bet on that fight. Rod, I'm betting against you right now, man.
Rod's eating up right now. Going to be a tough division for anybody to beat Izzy. And a discussion on that. Romero, get in there and wrestle fuck this guy. Wrestle fuck this guy to hell, bro. That could beat him. Romero wrestle fucking him. Like, Romero's a medalist. There's no way that Izzy is going to be able to not get taken down at all.
Right,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
You got to wrestle that guy.
I think Romero has a great chance. We can get into a lot of, there's a lot of people there.
Right.
A lot of people just left the division, too.
Left the weight division? What do you mean? Like, retired or?
One up, Rockhold went up to 205. Weidman went up to 205. They've lost a few people.
More competitive? Or less competitive.
It's got to redevelop now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You got to redevelop after you lose people like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Jones, wants to fight Izzy. That's really the future
John Jones,
fight.
Stylebender.
Yeah,
they were talking shit a while back. I remember that.
The funny thing is,
I remember them going back and forth.
Man, I'm not a big fan of that. He's a smart bitch, right? Because he realized that Jones is trying to do to Izzy what Mayweather did to Canelo. Right? Which goes, oh, you're a fucking stud. I can fight you for big money. Let me get you before you be your best. Right? Let me get you now. I think Canelo was 21 when he fought Floyd. You know what I mean? It's just too young.
Not fair.
It's just too young. He wants Izzy right now before his body develops more. He's 30 years old, but if he went up to 205, he would put on muscle.
What's John Jones, 35?
No, he's younger than that. He's probably a little younger than that.
32?
Somewhere around there. 32, 33, 34, somewhere along the lines of that.
So he's probably in prime body shape right now.
But Jones is a big 205er. You know what I mean? Izzy is a small, lean guy.
Was he 185?
Yeah, he fights at 185, but he's 6'4". So,
15.
Listen, here's the thing.
Pounds.
Everybody's interested in this fight because it's the first time that a reach matches up with Jones.
20
You get what I'm saying?
Though.
Yeah, he would have to go up,
Yeah,
that's the thing. He got to put on muscle.
20 pounds.
Jones wants him to go, fight me tomorrow. So that way you're a 185er. Right. Where Izzy is going to go, no, I'll fight at 185. And then in maybe 5 or 6 fights, I'll go up to 205.
So Jones will come down or no?
No, Jones can't come down, but Izzy can go up. So Izzy's not just going to want to gain 25 pounds of fat. You want to gain 20, 15 of muscle,
good
5
muscle,
of fat.
good muscle, exactly.
Yeah, because if not, Jones is going to take him down and stop him out.
Yeah,
but
interesting
fights, man. I don't think that Izzy's on Jones level, but
it doesn't seem he has the body matchup either. Like his body's way more. It's a narrower frame. I don't think he's as long. That types of things comes down to. Whereas like Jones is like that true 205, or where like he's really struggling to go up. I think he might struggle to get that 20.
Jones talking about fighting heavyweight now.
Yeah, I think he's going to struggle to get up to that type of body composition. And then you're kind of then going against a bigger version of yourself right there, who is more coordinated because he has that weight sitting on him that way. It's a natural weight setting.
More strength, more weight, an actual wrestler.
Some length.
Did wrestle. Same exact reach.
Is it equal reach?
Yeah.
Equal reach.
I think Jones will have a little bit. But it's the first time that anyone comes close. I think I'm like 80 and a half to I think Jones got like 82.
That's one thing I noticed about Russell Westbrook too. Like his arms are long as fuck too.
Yeah,
like, he'd be like fucking.
Listen, I've said it forever, dude.
He should be.
And now Izzy saying it, but I've said it forever. If somehow them Nigerians learn to wrestle, like it's over for the fighting world everywhere. There's nobody that can match up with these Nigerian bodies, dude. There's no way. Tyler hates when I say this. He hates when I say this, but literally, physically, nowhere in the world.
As a white man just getting like uncomfortable, he's just like,
I don't care how people feel about it, but you're not going nowhere in the world, right? And finding you're just not going anywhere in the world and finding better builders in Nigeria. Like anything you're looking for, you can get it in Nigeria. You know what I mean? Like look at Izzy and then look at Francis Ngannou.
And you're like, there's something to this.
I can get either one of these.
There's something to this formula.
Both of these are the best builds in their divisions. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Where's Ngannou at?
Naturally.
What weight's Ngannou at?
Heavyweight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he carried sand all his life. You know, he just got like this natural build.
I always say, I just think that's like just so fucking insane. Like, that's the thing, like, when you have people at those natural builds, at those natural weights where their muscles naturally sitting on that, they didn't work for that. Like, it's just kind of like naturally composed on their body like that. And
the heavyweight limit's 265. They said he walks around at 265. Literally,
what's he come down to? What, 215?
No, he's right there about 255, 260.
He fights at 255,
and he knocks heads off.
Oh my god! So heavyweight's 205 to 2, or is it what's 205 at?
206, basically.
206 heavyweight.
So that'd be.
What's 205? That's what light
technically
heavyweight.
It's not 206, but 207.
Light heavyweight 205.
205 is light heavyweight, and then 265 is the limit on heavyweight.
206 to 265.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a big gap.
I just sit there, you're fighting a guy. You're naturally coming in at 210, or like you cut your weight down to 210 from like 220 or something.
You're cutting extra 5 if you're doing that.
And that guy,
you're not 220 fighting heavyweight.
Yeah,
you're going 205.
I got you.
Jones is 220.
I got you.
You know what I mean? But Ngannou is literally the scariest, hardest puncher I've ever seen in my life. Like if you go with it's him and Deontay Wilder. They're the hardest punchers in human history, dog. And the thing is, people can talk about Foreman, right? And they can talk about Tyson, right? Those people look like they were supposed to hit hard.
You don't want to fucking get smacked by them.
Wilder bro. Looks like he literally doesn't even hit you. It looks like he has a pillow fist. Like he hits you and don't even really do nothing. And just sleep. It's literally a pillow fist. That's what it should be called because it just puts you to sleep. It's the hard. You know, they talk about like the mechanics of people's bodies.
Yeah.
Francis gets a lot of power because he brings punches from different angles. So I can bring an uppercut from here. You know what I mean?
Drag it on the fucking dirt.
But like Deontay Wilder, he got this thing that like Thomas Hearns used to have where it's like this, it's a long arm, slim build type of thing.
Yeah.
And they believe that like in the boxing community, it's believed that like that allows you to like bang, 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 you know what I mean? Like that. It gives you a bink to you, basically.
Yeah.
Like you can have, you know, that's the best way I can describe it.
It gives you that bink.
It gives you that bink. Where like most people, you might
get that bink.
You might have a big chest, right? But that takes away from your arms. Or you got big arms, but you don't got the chest.
Right.
Some people just like have a natural build, like long ass arms, straight solid chest, bang, 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 bang.
Well, it makes sense because like fucking pendulums, you know? It's like pendulums where like you carry a lot of the weight at the end of your hand. So you're just like really when you're pulling that up, you know, that bitch is just dragging out on the arms. Bah, you got some fucking, you know. I mean, I don't know what the whole theory. I mean, like you said, to be quick, it sounds like rather than powerful.
Well, but I also believe like when you got arms like that and you got that type of build, like Eddie Hearn and Deontay Wilder, they aim down on people. You know what I mean? So like, you got that bink to you, but you're also aiming down. like bing, 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 bing.
Like body or no?
No, like what I'm saying, they're taller than most people in their division.
I got
so they're firing down at their head, with like it just gives you more.
It's better that way.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you're just putting more.
It gives you a little more bink for your bink. It's just like
something I learned. Carrying powers. I never really thought much about that I learned, which is like everybody. I'm not gonna give them fighting tips now. Everybody always thinks of like a jab, right? It's just like, oh, you throw a jab out there to like keep somebody off you and shit like that. It's when you hear experts talk about the jab, it's very funny, right? Because like Andre Ward will go like, I try and jab on the left side of his face, right? I'm not even trying to hit here.
Right.
I'm actually like Nate Diaz does the same thing. I actually want to throw a punch here.
Right.
Because when I throw that punch, you're gonna move your head here. I already got my right coming on your top left shoulder. Bang, put you right there. Nate does the same thing. Like he's a heavy left, Nate Diaz. He'll just keep pulling the right. So you just naturally kind of go away from it. Then Nate, there's the left right there.
Yeah, when a lot of people initially talk about it, they talk really technical about it, or they're just like, it's to feel out your range, is to get that touch going. You get a sense of where you're going.
That's the basics.
It's like a caliber. Exactly.
The next level is like
it's what everyone's saying with that.
Yep.
But it's the next level is how you get your opponent. How do you manipulate his maneuvering to favor you in a way to where you can set up yourself better? So I mean, it's like the jab's a setup punch. I mean, that's another basic thing that they tell you is that your jab will set up your power punch, follow through from there. So I mean, you want him to maneuver in a way to where maybe he just drops that guard. You come in with that hook.
He does what you want.
Exactly.
Enough about fighting. How do we stop kids from carrying sand in Africa?
Well, I mean, I think so. It is my understanding that we have a fucking sand shortage. We have a shortage of sand because we make so much fucking glass. We don't recycle enough of the glass. We're running out of sand.
Selling you that shit?
So I mean, that's just my understanding. I don't know.
Who's selling you that?
Big
shit?
Glass. Big Glass is paying me.
Big Glass. Big Glass.
Big Glass is paying me to say this. This maneuver is brought to you by Big Glass.
No, seriously, if you want to talk about one of the most wasted things in the world, it's definitely glass.
It's glass. It's sand.
It's horrible how much glass.
And the thing with sand is that you can't recreate it. So how do you stop shit like that? I mean, you have to, because I mean, we're getting to the point where like these countries like in Africa where they're selling their sand, but also on the flip side, a lot of times besides slave workers, a lot of times it's the only form of paying jobs in the regions for people, and people will take advantage of that. But there's some partial good to be had there, I guess, if you want to sprinkle some silver lining in there.
Yeah,
but I don't think children should be working. I don't think it should be working exactly.
All them companies do it like that. That's the big thing with the slaughterhouses.
Yeah,
they go to literally villages where it's like 80 people. Everyone works in the slaughterhouse.
But governments will also set you up to where like they'll allow shit like that just so they can have money coming into their country at all. Like, all right, look, we're exporting some glass. We're not paying many people in wages. We're just making money off of this because, I mean, they got to come here. They got to stay in our areas, and whatnot. So, I mean, it brings money to communities. So, as long as you always have something like that, poor communities are always going to be taking advantage of something like that. I don't fucking agree with that. I don't want that to be like, kind of like jumping up. I don't agree with shit like that where, like, I mean, what do you do about it? You got to ban that type of, like, labor. But then again, it's also like, you would just have to take systematic steps to get that country.
You got to form a government
exactly
that then lays out a minimum wage for contracting.
Or you just like you get real
mercenary band together that says like we ain't doing this no more for less than 15 grand.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're just like, okay, we'll pay 15 grand, and really you're worth 45 grand. You just weren't getting paid 45 cents.
Exactly.
And it's like now you're all fucked up. You don't even really know what you're worth. It's like you're worth 45 cents.
Been the huge counter argument when it comes to like manufacturing in China, where like that's what companies do. They go to these poor remote villages in like Vietnam and stuff. They pay them next to nothing, but it's still like over there like 45 cents would be like 1,000 of their dollars. Maybe they could buy food for a day with that one day's work. You know what I mean? So like I don't know. I mean I'm not an expert on the whole ordeal. You would have to target shit like that.
You have to play more Civ.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't have this child labor problem in civilization. I'm just sorry. I'm not prepared for this at all.
I do expect something like that to
I
come
haven't
in the
run
game,
the scenario yet.
Like public problems. That's the one thing the game's missing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they try to emulate that with the World Congress.
Yeah, that's weak though. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you got a famine, like something like that. I think you should also be able to, as a civ, take that weird route where you're like,
I got slaves. It's just what I did early on.
Bro,
it might be touchy.
Dog,
that's why they avoid it.
So fucking right.
You need to make evil decisions. I'm not just building shit here. I'm building a fucking
dude.
Like nowadays, like they have something labeled it where
like
enslave
the Vikings.
Be authoritarian, but like it doesn't mean nothing. You just like have certain bonuses for like production and stuff.
But you're not a dictatorship.
You can't play that role fantasy if you wanted to. So I mean, like you would need to implement something like that.
You
where
could
like
add so many tiers.
They're over here like they're doing like let's say like we're fucking shipping opiates everywhere, some dumb shit, you know, whatever. Or like let's say like countries come together like, look, you can't do uranium. It's like you need shit like that, you know.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, you just need to take it deeper. Just need to take it deeper.
Yeah, a little deeper.
Just keep taking it deeper.
Everybody's playing that game because it's so deep. We want it deeper. You don't light up. Don't light up. Go deeper until we say deep enough. And that's when you know.
Well, right now it seems like Civ's out of dick. They can't go deeper.
Straight up. That inches.
But I mean, like, you know, it's like we're gonna get to a point where you're literally just gonna have like it's gonna be called Earth, and you're like how ancestors did with humankind. It's gonna be just like that, but like. Exactly what we're talking about. It's gonna be exactly what we envision, where you can just
the whole world
evolve everything until you're a human being in modern day life, making your own civilization. Just simple as that.
And you're making like all those choices and everything.
It's gonna be coming. It's gonna come.
You don't always think
downloadable less than 1 gigabyte. It's gonna be ridiculous.
It's not gonna be that. I feel like because at the point when we get to a game like that, I feel like we're just have super immense VR. Yeah. So you're gonna be in a game like that.
Look,
you know what I mean?
This is what I'm saying. Like with immersive VR, like. For me, I think it's really cool, but like it's also really scary because I know what people do with regular games. I mean, I know people and see people who get like really into like online games. Like there's a game called Life where like you create like your avatar and you create like some type of like alter ego where you're living like a profession and stuff in a virtual world. Like as soon as you make that implemented to where you can be virtual reality, where you're just like, it's done. Like it's done. It's like a Fortnite with kids. Virtual reality Fortnite for kids.
I always say that. Well, if it keeps you from suicide, do it. Right?
Yeah.
Is that suicide? That's
so. I don't.
That's the thing.
So I don't necessarily disagree with people.
What about if you were just straight up hooked up to a feeding tube?
While they're in the game all the time.
Yeah, and a water IV.
They have like a catheter and shit.
Yeah.
And like a shit bag, and they're just like shitting and
he's like,
pissing
he just gave for 7 straight hours. He's like president of life.
He was controlling the game in his dream.
In other news, our real president. That'd be so weird, man.
As soon as you have a neural link, like it's like there's the guy that has the game implanted in his head. He's just playing hours in his head because his brain never shuts off.
I feel like if you had a game like that, the real news would report on that game as if it was real news.
Yeah.
Because it would be so big.
You hear about the creepy fucker who was in like the Joker theater, just like laughing and cheering at all the crazy murder scenes?
Is that a creepy fucker? Is that every 23-year-old I ever met that likes to fuck 15-year-olds? Come on, dude. You're into horror movies. I've heard it 1,000 times, bro. Oh my God. You want to talk about a star? Someone needs attention. But that's what that is.
But like someone like people like got up and left. Like, I don't know if I'd leave.
Dude, the weirdo. The weirdo is the guy that's quiet with a shotty actually on him. He ain't saying nothing. He's gonna blow you all away in this movie theater. That's the guy that said the guy that's like, I'm gonna do a school shooting. That guy's going to school. I've laughed at shooting scenes where like someone will be talking and then they get shot mid-sentence. Like that shit will make me geek. Like he's running away. He's like, oh no, please don't. And just boom. It's like mid-sentence, just blows him away. This makes me geek. Like sometimes it'll make me geek if it catches me off guard. Depends on what it is. You could geek at fucking hippo being killed if it slipped while it was running away. Like you can geek at anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't even want to hear shit. I can't even believe that's a news report. Yeah. I feel sad it even got cycled in your news. It was just so pathetic. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a fuck?
Well, I mean, like, it's, I don't know, people, like, it's like, I didn't realize people were, like, that scared. Where it's like, you know, I think people, like, if you boil down the amount of school shootings per population, it's like, isn't it some crazy low percentage? But I mean, of course, what is a comfortable percentage? Listen, whatever you want to say.
I'm a fan of consequence.
Just my point. Just like it's just funny. Like these scenarios get like pushed in your face all the time, and now you're scared all the time because of like these scenarios.
But it also has happened too, right? So, but it's like a small percentage.
Well, exactly.
Like it's going to happen.
How many theater shootings have there been?
One that we know about.
I mean, I think there's been a couple over the past years, but I mean, like, come on.
But here's the thing. Once again, fan of consequence. Let's say me and you were at the movies, dog, and somebody's laughing at every just because if somebody's laughing at every comes in, I mean they're being loud.
Right.
They're being loud laughing, like they're trying to let people know. I'm just like, you're with me. I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up, or we're gonna smack the fuck out of you.
You get blown away first.
I mean, is he gonna put a gun? Let's see who can make it to the exit the first. You know what I mean? Like that is what it is.
As soon as you do that, you just see the gun and dip.
Listen, I'm
now you just set everybody up.
No, thank you. Everybody else is everybody else. Thank you. If that's a situation, that's the best one I can ask for because I'd be the first one. I'd see the gun, right?
True.
Gun, bam. That's your guys' problem. You know what I mean? Now they're all running up. They're just blocking me off from getting shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want
You're the first to react.
I don't want him to pull that out and be right behind me.
You're the first to react. Exactly.
Bro,
yeah.
I mean, I'm gone. We're just like, dude, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, enough of all that shit. Okay, you like the scenes. You know? Like, why? We're people.
You get blown away. You get blown away like RoboCop style.
I hate this fucking world.
The entire road just gets you up and just blows you the fuck away.
I love this world, but I just hate what we've become sometimes. Where it's just like,
what is that exactly though?
Go back to a village, man. I just want to go back to a village. I want to go back to a village, bro. Because in a village, if you were that person, we would fuck you up, and you would change or you would leave, and that would be life.
Or you would lead.
You might lead.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, that's true. That definitely does happen. Lead. That definitely does happen some places, right? But you're like the thing.
And then I'm gone. I'm starting my own village.
And what I'm saying is not everything needs to be dealt with violence. What I'm saying is like, if we was down to where it's like, bro, you can't call.
But we're talking village days, so I mean, of course, it's all violence we got.
But it's just right. But just outside the case of like, if people weren't so sheltered, right? If you had no 911 to call, if no courthouse to press charges,
the people would be 911.
Would you be so willing to talk that shit, bro?
Like, there's people out there who are willing to play that order keeping role, and that's what they see themselves doing in the world. So if we didn't have that 911, I mean, you'd see that, and I think people would pay for their consequences in such an order where it's like it's left up to the same people who live in the same community. You're fucking up. You killed his neighbor's sister. He liked her. It's
like
so. I mean,
the guy that's talking like heckling a comedian. You know what I mean? Right. It's kind of like shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Or leave.
Get out of here.
Yeah, or leave. Exactly.
That's what it is to me.
Exactly.
It's like, bro, none of us. We all agree that 99% of us don't like that.
Right.
So we don't give a fuck if 1% do.
Oh, so another thing I wanted to bring you up.
People actually gotta care about everything.
It kind of flows into this like situation where like you're having people get outraged and get mad about things you say. What do you think about the law in New York where like you can't use illegal immigrant or threaten to call ICE on people? It's like hate speech and you can get like in prison for shit like that.
I'll call ICE on you an illegal immigrant.
What do you think about that?
Listen, here's my thing. First, I want to start off with when this all first started, I was a proponent of like, yeah, people do need to be guarded on what they say. People do say some shit, which I still am. I've told you that before.
Right.
I'm completely on the side of like, y'all are going too hard at this point.
Yeah.
Like you guys are trying to get people to say what you want them to. You're not trying to say, don't say this. You're trying to get me to say what you want me to.
Well, no, this law is exactly what they're saying. They're saying we don't want you to use illegal immigrant this particular way.
Listen,
you can use it to talk about like illegal aliens. Like they can use it to say this or that. But when you call someone illegal alien, it's now illegal. You know, that's what the law is. You can't threaten to like I'm gonna call ICE on you, illegal alien. That's illegal now. Like what even is that? Like I'm to the point where like you see these scenarios when people
bother me half as much as the other ones. But of course I don't want that.
But listen, like for me, it's like why did they see it necessary to take such action when you have the internet nowadays, where it's being decided among the people, where it's like we film you doing some shit like this, your life's ruined. Then, like I mean, like that's what people do to them.
That's
now,
too
do
much
I necessarily agree with that? Do I necessarily agree with shit like that? No, not to a certain extent, but I mean. It's people have been dealing with, they've been dealing with it amongst themselves for, as I want to say as recent as like 2010 when like Twitter and shit really took off, like, and shit like that really like blew up.
That is one thing. Like, I don't agree with that just because it's going to cause so many problems. But that one doesn't even piss me off as much as, because I feel like that's one that's not going to be prosecuted as much, if that makes sense. But like when you're on like literally college campuses and you're telling people that they got to use certain pronouns and you know what I mean, and like words to describe you.
They have a lawsuit right now where a teacher sued their one school district because he didn't agree to using certain pronouns.
Yeah, well, that's what Russell Peterson got famous for, basically.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So on top of that, in Canada, it's straight up illegal. Straight up illegal to not use people straight up natural shit. What they want to be called, dude.
It's iffy. So iffy, man,
bro,
because that one's not, you can't just say this, you have to say this.
You won't find anybody
you have to say
more open than me. Like,
exactly,
you're not gonna find it. Like, I feel like I'm super progressive, bro. I'm 100% LGBTQT, whatever they want to add in there now. Like, I've always been for that. I've always been for anything, all of that. I want everyone to come through and live happy lives. Don't tell people what to say, bro, unless, like, listen, you always have hate speech, right? You always have harassment as a charge, right? Which is like, I come to you and I'm like, you stupid, fucking, calling you whatever, dropping bombs on you, basically.
I got you.
That's always harassment. Like, you can't be in somebody's face screaming M-bomb,
whatever,
F-bomb, whatever you want. You know what I mean? Calling you what you want, basically, like that
harassment.
over and over. That's harassment. That's when I told you need to punch someone in the gut.
100% harassment.
But when someone, like, I see you and I'm like, oh yeah, she, and you got, and like, you want to prosecute me because I didn't say like pie or some shit like that. Like, I don't know, bro. First of all, I don't fucking know. If you tell me, listen, if you want me to call you that, if you want me to remember that one, no, I'm not going to say that. If you want me to remember that, you have to make it known. That's what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah,
if you tell, you got to tell me, like, look, I like being called Psy. I like saying that, like, I'm Psy or whatever. Like, not that you get called that, but that's what you pronounce as. Okay, now I can go along and go, oh, I remember that you like that. But if you're going to sit there and prosecute random people who don't even know what the fuck you want to be called, now you're mad because they called you something else. Well, they're trying to go off of what we all go off of, which is common sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so I mean, like, it's funny because we've seen these type of like frontiers and these things happen throughout time. Like, with the anti-war protesters of like Vietnam that like kind of like generated the full hippie movement. And then the people who were pro-war, same thing that happened with Iraq, pro-war. Or when you came down to something where it was like religion in schools, where you had people like, I don't want your religion in my schools or this and that. And it was like, so like gender's like this new frontier. That's like the next big thing to fight for, where it's like, we want these type of gender pronouns in schools, but we don't want them. It's a very tiring evolution of just like double-sided things just coming, just like that really don't give a fuck about. Like, you want a religious school, have a religious school. Like that is what it comes down to.
I don't agree on that. I was with you up into that part. I don't agree on that part because it's like, when it comes to things like that, those people have proved not to be trustworthy. You know what I mean? Ain't no fucking transsexuals or no fucking gay communities ever had no exposure of, oh, gays are going around raping everyone, or fucking transgenders are beating people up. There's some fucking schools that have got multiple child molestation cases against them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But
so like,
wasn't even going there, Wasn't even going there.
I get sketched out by those ones. I think people should be allowed to have them, but there should be some type of like outside social workers that like work the school, or like a fed social worker. I don't know. You know what I mean?
So I wasn't even trying to like touch on that. I was just saying like versus like
I was with
public schools up
until
it's like just not even going into like the whole child thing. Just like like if you want religion in schools, you make those private. I mean, like, I think anyone can really make a private school as long as it's like a credit. You know what I'm saying? So like,
right. But the problem is when you get the vouchers, right? Betsy DeVos style.
Yeah, I mean, of course, without like touching on like it has its own problems, but I mean, like, I think if you like that's like that was like, I was just saying like simply, that was like the old frontier of like social fighting, where it was like no religion,
no,
religion
100%,
and then
your point.
getting up exactly.
Just talking about something different there on that topic. Isn't it funny how like everyone that you talk to, right? We all established that like, yeah, private schools probably are better schools. You probably do learn more. As far as that goes,
better funding.
You learn more, right? It's better funding, right? That's what I'm trying to get to. Well, it's better funding. You know what I mean?
Well, you pay to go.
You pay to go, exactly. But then that, like, I don't want to talk on shit I don't know. But as I assume, that's also religious, right? So that's tax untaxed
not all
money.
of them. Not all of them. No, not all of them are religious.
No, I'm saying like I thought we were talking about a religious school.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like private schools themselves. There's
non-religious schools,
private schools,
like celebrities.
I think they operate as a non-profit more so.
Right, I was talking about religious schools.
Yeah.
Like on the religious school aspect, we all even on that. Let's say not private school, like on religious school, we still established that like you probably do get better learning in there.
Yeah.
Right, because it's just like all around more stricter. You're more on schedule. Like all of that. Those places are still more funded. Like, as I know that those places would also go tax-free. So now that's like dollars that you're taking in the economy that we're paying into this private teaching here that you have going on that's not getting taxed. It's not getting circulated,
not even open to the public.
Right, because when you buy things like that, right, you're not like a school doesn't have a constant thing they have to buy every year. They don't buy new textbooks every year. They don't buy much of anything every year.
And I'm sure the government puts some money into
initially,
that,
right? Or the church. Yeah, from donations and shit like that.
Like I said, I'm sure the state government has a little grant it gives or throws their way.
Everybody would just get some fucking oil paintings on the wall or some goddamn glass.
It's employment and it's education for the area. So but
what I was trying to get to is like we all established that that's better funding and that you would want your kid to learn there. Obviously, it has other implications that go along with that, but why? So then when we establish something like that, right? Why would we ever allow something like that? Why wouldn't we go? Well, honestly, I want to allow it. Right? But it seems that it's so unfair here. Like it's such a difference here that we shouldn't even allow that. They should just be like, no, we're focusing on these school systems.
These are our schools. That's your school. You rely on your tuition.
It should be something, or it should be taxed along the lines, or it should be implemented into the public school system, but it's like a religious one. Yeah. Maybe something along the lines of that. But I just think it's sketchy how we go, the more money you got, the better education. Like, I think that's so weird. And when people argue about, like, we can't get free college, like, bro, and I'll argue free knowledge before I'll argue free health.
It's like a Harvard with, like, they have like a $60 million portfolio on the side, working for them, like behind.
Listen, you give me free college.
I'm sure they get money from the state as well.
Give me free college, I can learn to be a doctor. I can learn to do a surgery I need. You know what I mean? Straight up, I can get in there. Free healthcare, that's plugging a hole.
And this is another thing. Like, as for me as a government, if you see these private institutions vacuuming money from out of the economy, like the way they do with the amount that people pay for these institutions. I mean, you have, I think you have University of Maryland here. It'll be like, $28,000 a year.
Why would that be allowed to be privatized, bro? Why is that allowed to be made for profit?
Exactly. You have citizens all over your state and city funneling all this money into them, and then you give them money.
This is where I'm going to go super progressive. Where I feel like I've argued a lot of conservative viewpoints on these casts. But like for me, if you want to go like full progression, it's like, I think that there should be a cap on rent and a cap on college if you're not going to make it free.
I mean, then again, just college tuition and staying at colleges.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
It should be a cap, just like with rent, where it goes like, why is it that someone is able to purchase land, they rent it out, and they're able to just vary the price of that all the time? Where I know. This is
where the capitalistic mind comes in.
You're like, people go, they bought that land. They own that land.
And it's like, I'm Harvard. I've been successful for 200 years now. Why would I pay the same as like CCBC? It's like, I charge the same. It doesn't make sense. That type of deal, you get into those type of strings. Where like, let's say
Harvard, you could literally consume CCBC. You could take everyone at CCBC into your school. And if we had free education, that's what would happen. Those people that want to learn, they would go to prestige schools. How many of us, Steve, I think even me and you, bro, would have did better in school if we knew college was free. We just always kind of knew, we probably could go to college, but you need a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or you got to go in debt. We always knew that. So it always kind of was like, probably not going to go unless I see something I want. And if we were told all our life,
then you see
that was going to be free.
You see these candidates who are like, we're going to erase all student debt. I'm like, oh shit, I might as well get some debt and get it erased in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? But that's not something to bank on.
Erasing student debt's one thing. I'm sure we can lower it. We can figure out different payment plans.
Yeah.
We can slash it in half, maybe. Figure out something right.
There needs to be something done.
If we put it, I'm going politician here. If we put a balance on the, let's not even go around. If we put balance, if we didn't give free education, but we just put a balance on education, right?
Check on it.
We just put a top limit of like, okay, you got this, you got this court, you got this going on, you got all these checks that we got checked, so you're allowed to charge this much. And that's what it is. And like, people can feel how they want to feel about that, you know? After we did that, right? So let's say, okay, Harvard is capped at, this can't be worth more than $13,000 a year. Now we go back, we look at people that went to Harvard and had student debt, and we just even the money up of what it would have been for this tuition that we've capped now for the degree that they got. Yeah. And they pay that. What's up?
So then
how did the college
would you eliminate donations to colleges? I mean, that's where a lot of the money is coming from. I mean, you have Harvard alumni giving money back to Harvard. So, I mean, that's another thing. That's another big thing.
I'm going to have to with the style I'm going right now, right? Because I got to say, look, you can give. You know what I mean? Listen,
this is not free market, bitch.
Listen to this. Listen, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm walking,
I'm here.
Do the job of John Hopkins today down on Charles Street.
Oh.
I'm walking. As I'm walking past their front of the building, they've got all these engraved donation people. You know, you give a fat donation, you get it engraved. There's just tons of them going. You know what the last fucking engravement on there was?
What was it?
United States of Emirates. Arab of Emirates. Dog.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
John Hopkins University on Charles Street got a fat ad donation.
Yeah.
From the Middle East, bro.
100%, bro. I mean, this is how it operates. This is how it operates, man.
Just think about it. Everybody think about it for a second. Why would John Hopkins be getting money from a Middle Eastern dictatorship?
This is my understanding. So the approach, from what I understand of a lot of investors, especially like governments like this, they diversify their shit to the extreme where they invest in a lot of large market companies throughout the world. I mean, it's just like, you know, Johns Hopkins being one of the biggest hospitals in the world, let alone in the country. I could only imagine them sending some money our way. It's like they invested in them. So they just gave them some money. They're hoping to receive it back in some way to, you know, as they increase their value and whatnot and make their money back one day.
See, how would they receive that, though, if they didn't buy stock or nothing like that? They didn't invest technically in the business. That's a donation plot.
Well, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Let's say they had a project. Let's say they had a project to build that specific place.
Right.
They put
in your name on something.
That's what I'm saying. Let's say they put in that $5 million. You know, that's when people invest in things like that. It's just like how we see in Shark Tank, where it's like over the next 10 years, they expect to make their money back on it. They donated 5%, well, they got back 10%.
You may be right. I don't know enough about that, but I don't believe that's how it works, bro.
That's how the investment works. Or donations. Like, donations happen.
It's 100% a donation. But a donation from places like that is an advertisement. They're on that wall. I read United States of Emirates today. You know what I'm saying? When whatever that construction thing is built, it's gonna have United States of Emirates somewhere on there, or a flag. It's like advertisement dollars.
I don't think it makes advertisement dollars at all. It's very typical for a lot of companies to, especially like, you know, Johns Hopkins, to show their investors. I mean, like, they have like a wall there where, like, you know, you see investors for the initial hospital that's on there with the red awning or whatever. And Johns Hopkins baby, they have a wall right there full of investors. Well, from what I understand is investors.
An investor, yeah. But I'm saying I wasn't reading government. But I wasn't reading an investor wall. I was reading a donation wall. I mean,
same thing. I mean, they give donations to them, you know.
But you can't expect a return on that. You might have money invested in the company after that, and you go, "Oh, here's an extra $5 million for this," and they look out for you on your investment a little more.
Yeah, I'm sure there's.
But you can't say. Exchange. I feel like that's against the law. I don't know for sure, but like, you can't give a charity donation and say, "I want that money back plus interest," yet alone that money back.
I mean, I guess it depends on, like, I mean, of course, investments you could, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. But with donations, I mean, like, it's a similar thing where it's like, I'm sure Johns Hopkins, you know, on the side could have just been like, you know, okay, we'll come over, we'll do some training throughout United Air, like, you know, in Dubai. We'll we'll do medical training throughout all the hospitals in Dubai or some shit.
Could be something along the lines of that. See, I was thinking
exactly.
the flip side there, right? I was thinking that.
So there's always some return.
I was thinking that maybe,
when there's money exchange.
Maybe the prince or whatever it is going on over there that like they invested in. It's like, look, I don't want nothing. If my family gets sick, we get to come to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like
what's your best doctors?
Yeah,
exactly.
Every time,
exactly, man. You know, it's just there's always something on it. You know, there's always a return on investment that may not necessarily be cash in return with interest or whatever. It could be favors, political, or it could even give the United Arab Emirates more of influence in America's medical debt, type of thing, or something. It could be some power thing. Who knows?
John Hopkins could have already gave them $10 million on a donation. And they're just like, here's $5 million.
They could own Johns Hopkins right now. Who knows?
Like they do the news stations.
Who knows? Yeah, bro, that shit's weird.
How weird is that?
I remember like when it circulated.
Why does the Middle East are the news, dude?
I mean, it's people do it all around the world, man. Like Russia Today, RT with the green block. That's Russia's state news agency. It's available here in America. RT, Russia Today.
Not on
RT
cable though, right?
RT, I think there's a RT channel on cable. I believe they do have one.
I don't think so, bro.
It's weird,
so, man, then we deserve to get hacked.
Regardless,
hack us again, dog. Regardless,
there we are. RT stations. They do have them depending on the cable you got. They don't have them on like your basic channels. But if you have like Xfinity with a bunch of channel packages, you probably have the RT channel. They do have a broadcasting channel. I do know that.
I would be very surprised if America allows that.
I mean, look up RT. I mean, well, what is it? What do you think Al Jazeera is? Like, like AJ Plus, that on Facebook? Al Jazeera?
Well, they don't have a...
That's owned,
I'm just saying
that's owned by
TV.
That's owned by,
they're not on TV, though.
That's owned by Qatar. I mean, they have a huge...
But they're not on TV.
But, I mean, they're on the internet. I mean...
But you also get a warning when you go and watch that shit. You see that it's funded by that. Same thing when you're on the internet and you see a Russian news station. It says that this is funded by the Russian government.
Not on RT. Not on RT or Al Jazeera. It's just like...
Well, Al Jazeera it does.
Well, I mean, I think they came into some legal battles because of that. I think that's one thing with the countries.
It says right at the bottom, this is owned by
countries
Qatar.
Countries took notice to things like that, I believe. It might say the same with RT, I don't know. But I mean,
because you can't have Qatar doing like a doc on Israel, right?
I mean, they circulate on social media all throughout.
Yeah, they got a lot of shit. I didn't know before they said that.
They have a lot of coverage. RT has the similar internet platform. State run, straight up. A lot. Any news you typically get out of China is typically state run news. That's another big player. But I don't think they broadcast here.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying like Fox News is the Middle East. CNN is the Middle East.
What do you mean?
All of our news, right? It's established. My numbers might be a little bit off, but all of our channels are now owned by 3 companies total.
It's like Disney.
All 3 of those Middle Eastern have high stakes in. High stakes, majority stakes in our news station. The companies
I'm sure they would. They would put their money, invest in it, make money, and they control it financially. I mean, that's one of the better.
Maybe just all around the world are just like, what's a good investment? American news. They watch it. Yeah, they watch it. They just they're not even propaganda. They're strictly making money.
Well, that, and then they turn into propaganda. Like now we're making money and making propaganda.
They don't care too much about propaganda.
We're making money off our propaganda. That's simply what incredible. It is. We're getting bread.
Yeah, we haven't seen something this good since they formed ISIS for us.
and then we news cover it over here, and then we convince other people with our news coverage to come over here and do this.
And we bomb our own people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my favorite thing in Syria.
And at the end of the day, we make money.
My favorite thing in Syria is like bomb our own people and just deny it. It's like,
well, no, we didn't do it. It was the rebels.
The thing is, might have been the rebels the one time, but they got proof that it was the city once.
Or do they?
They do. Well, you're right. You're right.
Or do they? Or do we just say, hey, they? Oh,
can't we do that about anything?
Yeah, of course.
That's enough. That's just one big wormhole.
I gotta be that guy.
It's horrible being that guy, bro.
Do we?
So do we really? Yes. I feel like that's when people are back to the corner. They usually use that.
Well, I mean,
you know
like,
what I mean? When you're just like, no, bro, no, like you don't understand. Like, there's a GDP in the country, and this is the way it works. And
we always talk about like.
Do you really know that?
We always talk about picking and choosing, though. You know, I'm just like taking that to the extreme.
Yeah. It's like you don't like that with space. Like you go anywhere.
But I will pick and choose. I will continue to pick and choose. But
you're just like, nah, dog. We got like a solar system, and then there's like other solar systems, and we're kind of all mixed. And you're just like, but do you really know that? It's like, well, no.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
But I mean, like, am I good? Like, I'm never gonna be that guy that's gonna be like, oh, of course you can't believe that. Like, I mean, like, I'm gonna pick it. There's things that for me are believable.
Punch you in the face.
There's things in particular I'm gonna pick and choose that I do find believable or factual. Where it's like, you know, I mean, like, yeah, of course we know that the government's lied about shit, but are we gonna immediately discredit everything that the government has founded or, you know, says is factual? I mean, I guess you could do that if you wanted to, but I mean, like, there are things that you pick and choose to believe in. I mean, it's just simply what it is. There are things that I just find more believable, whether it be like, do I think 9/11 was an inside job? I don't know. I think it leans more to not than is. But that's just me personally. You know, there's other people who be like, oh, you're dumb. This guy.
It's hard to say what's an inside job. You know what I mean? Like, does the inside job mean the government had to set it up? I don't think the government set up 9/11.
What did the government have any part in it?
I'm not even saying they played a part in it, right? Yeah. I'm not even gonna say they played a part in it,
but that's the major conspiracy.
But here's the thing: ... They played off of it, right? So like that's what makes everybody think it's a conspiracy because of what we did afterwards. Well, like I don't lean towards we set all that up. I just look at it like we use that for now to take those next steps.
Use that, but I don't think we use that is the conspiracy. The conspiracy in 9/11 is that the government do it. That's the main one. I think it's known that we played off of it for 100% effect. I mean, did the government come out and say
the government did it? Like, are you saying like the government did it as if like there was government people on those planes, or there was no one on those planes, or like
the big conspiracy is that the government had a hand in it, did all of it, crashed the planes themselves, whatever. That's the dominating conspiracy theory, you know, around 9/11. I would say that, I mean, of course, the government didn't confirm that they didn't come out and confirm like, oh yeah, we did play off of that. I think it's just one of those things that's known. Yeah, we did play off of that 100%. We played off the Iraq. We played off that to invoke the Iraq War. Simple as that.
Well, I feel like, that's the reason right there that people lean towards like it's a conspiracy that like the government set it up is because of the way that it was played afterwards.
Yeah.
To me, it seems more likely like that people are so, we always say it, the best sight is hindsight, right? People always go like, because like, unfortunately, I've digged down the rabbit hole. A big thing that day, was like when they talk about the planes and shit, they went off course for like, don't quote me, 45, 50 minutes without ever being contacted.
Right.
Before they were, and there were supposed to be like certain lanes that were supposed to be monitored that weren't monitored today, apparently, Yeah. So there's things like that I guess you could say, but like no matter what, it seems like it's kind of leaning towards there was Saudis on that plane that flew into that tower.
Yeah, and I mean the way I look at it is like, I mean, we at that time, you're talking maybe you're getting into the beginnings of the aviation industry into the 80s and the 90s and 2000s, like, probably the biggest it's ever been as far as commercial aviation goes. So with that, for me, it's like one of those attacks was bound to happen either to us or some other country throughout the world. For something like that to happen, we had that vulnerability until we were able to like take that notice and then set up new thing. I mean, of course, the Patriot Act is very controversial.
Right, exactly. But it's very weird how, like, in most cases in war, though, you do have a significant situation, right, that sets it over the top. And, like, that did happen to be ours to go to war.
Right.
Right? Where, like, you go Vietnam, you got, like, Gulf of Tonkin, you go World War II, you got Pearl Harbor.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not conspiratorial or anything like that, but, like, there's other things that go along when we tried to start the war with Cuba. They were going to blow up a plane. There's multiple times where we've caught instances that they did fake to go to war. So just the fact of it that real is fake and then you go to war,
very true.
Always going to look sketchy after we've already caught you.
Very true. Yeah, it's been caught multiple times throughout, especially USA's history. We don't have a very good track record when it comes to being honest and trustworthy.
You know what?
Especially to its own people
that bashed Vietnam veterans or Vietnam soldiers when they went there.
Who bashed Vietnam veterans?
You were talking about it earlier, and I was thinking about that. You were talking about how like people were bashing Vietnam. You know, when they went there to Vietnam, like that was
the anti-war protesters.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck those people. You know what I mean, dude? Vietnam was a draft. You know what I mean? Vietnam was a draft, bro. Like. There's consequence to saying no.
Right.
Was any hippies out there? There wasn't one hippie protesting that said no to the war because they would have been in jail. They wouldn't have been able to protest. So those hippies out there protesting didn't get drafted. So how are you protesting now, bro? You don't protest people going to a draft, right?
But I mean, people found ways to dodge. You know, people found ways to dodge the draft and claim things, whatever it may be.
18-year-old gets drafted in the war. Oh, say no to the government. It's, you know what I mean? It's
not only that. You know, you go to your family doctor and it's like, all right, bone spurs. Oh, look at that. I mean, you know,
I don't think it works like that, bro. I mean, that's a thing.
You can get medically cleared. You can medically cleared from the draft, 100%.
That's a thing, but I don't think it's as easy as you're saying.
I mean, it's probably way less lenient back then.
Obviously, they drafted.
I mean, this is when I 60s, they still don't even know like how to fully handle like tuberculosis. Like,
see, I just feel like they're super patriotic, bro, and they're just like somebody comes in there and they're like,
yeah,
it's like
basically saying,
I gotta fake a piss test.
But you're wondering how some of those people went, like how some of these people ended up as anti-war protesters. Like how yes, some people dodged it, but by any means, whatever means they came through. And we're able to protest it from there. You know, you're able to avoid shit like that. I mean, some people. I mean, a huge part of the country was like, "I'm going."
What I'm saying is, if you dodge a draft, you didn't stand up for nothing. You can't dodge a draft and protest it. What the fuck is that? You gotta say no. You want me to go to war? No. Now you're a protester.
Yeah, but I mean, what good does it do when like you don't find legal ways out of it? You gotta take any legal means out of it to clear you for you to even continue doing what you gotta do.
Yeah, that's fine, but don't protest people that couldn't find a legal way out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the big thing was just being against the war, rather than personal people who were actually going to war.
200 million people yesterday designated with bone spurs in their feet. 2 days before the shipment's out for the war, like, you know what I mean? Like, it comes a point where, like, at that time, dog. Listen,
I don't think that's how it happened. I don't think that's how it happened at all.
You're a doctor, bro. You're a doctor. You're not an idiot. You're not an idiot. You know it's drafting time. Somebody comes in, I got bone spurs. Is it really like that, bro? It's. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, but we're also talking a less stringent process. I think that, you know, especially when you came down to the Vietnam War. Yeah, you had a lot of people who wanted to go, but like I said, I'm sure you had plenty of people who dodged and stayed behind, didn't go. You know?
100%. I'm not arguing that. All I'm saying is, don't protest something if you dodged it. If you found a way through a loophole,
I'm saying
that's not protesting.
And I'm saying
something.
If you don't believe in the war and you don't want to go, I mean, you could continue to protest the war because it's something you didn't believe in to begin with. You know, I'm not.
Why would you be protesting soldiers?
People who protested soldiers.
Dog, have you never seen the videos?
Who did that?
Do you not know about this in history?
Who did that?
Do you not know about this in history with Vietnam veterans?
Because my big understanding behind the hippie movement was the anti-war movement.
How you can tell when somebody's never seen the Rambo series.
Because you would know based off a movie? You're going based off a movie? Like, like what?
Rambo is based off of true actual fact, which is when Vietnam veterans are the worst bashed American soldiers of all time. The entire war was looked at like it shouldn't have taken place. And everyone that took place into it, they weren't granted. When they came back, there's literally constant, I don't know if you can find direct video on YouTube, but there's nothing but story of they got shit thrown at them. They got spit on, called nothing. But people would be waiting for them when they got home from the war for a long-ass walk of just spitting, telling them they're pieces of shit. They can't believe they did that, so on and so on and so on. Those people there.
That's not just in Rambo.
No, the Rambo is based on the real fact of it. This is real. I should have never said Rambo because you're taking it this way. But
this like when you're saying like, have you seen? Of course, someone doesn't know Rambo. I'm like, are we going to use Rambo? I mean, you don't want to set that up, So
you can say that about it. Like,
I mean, it's like, did that actually happen? Though, I'm wondering. Like,
I can't. Believe,
I didn't hear anything about.
I can't believe you don't know about that, dog. Like, this is 100% common knowledge. This is What you can look it up right now, bro. It's 1,000% true. This is forever known. I brought up Rambo because it's an actual movie about it. Just like if I brought up like racism, I would talk about American History X. Or if you brought up like
but that's a real historical movie. Where like that one's like an action movie with like
American History X is a real historical movie. It's a fiction.
I don't know whatever that movie is.
Thing,
yeah, but you wouldn't use that as like your benchmark. What like
who else would I go to for racism?
You can point to like a civil rights documentary for something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of them. There's like there's the 13th. There's the 13th Amendment. Read it on Netflix.
Now you're gonna go 13th Amendment on me. The most recent one.
Yeah, but there's plenty of movies and documentaries about it. There's plenty of documentaries. I mean, of course, I can't name every Civil War documentary. Just
like I can't with Vietnam, dog. So I named the one I could.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go to then some fictional movie to make my case. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, maybe it has something based in it, but I wouldn't use like Rambo as like anything to like kind of back it up.
Keep going, Rambo. I didn't think I had to explain it to that essence. I was just trying to.
No, you don't. But you don't use Rambo for your benchmark for something like saying something factual.
That was never my benchmark. I was telling you this is real fact, dog. This is easy to look up. This is common knowledge that everybody has known. This was throughout that entire time. That's why I say I can't believe it. The one example I have is Rambo. So I made a joke about Rambo because he plays off of that, which is the one movie that had to go. If you want me to go other ways, I would go like Platoon is about that at the end. There's a lot of other movies that are about that. Because it's a common thing. And this is literally something that all of them experience. It's the most tarnished war of all time. The soldiers were not looked at as heroes. When they came back, they weren't given jobs. They were frowned upon. Society looked down on them. Most of them came back with heavy PTSD and weren't accepted back in their communities. And that's why the suicide rates were so high. This is all known. Rambo, fictional movie, does a great fucking job of explaining that, which a fictional movie can do. He does a great job of showing how he went over there unwillingly, didn't want to murder people. Yes, it's fucking Sylvester Stallone, but it's based around that same exact thing of he went over there, he didn't want to do certain things. They made him do it. He came back and couldn't adapt to society. There's a scene where he's getting off and they're throwing shit at him. They're calling him shit. He's at the restaurant and people are like, saying shit to him. Like,
yeah, that's shit.
It's about that. That's what that entire thing was about.
Well,
they were completely bashed.
So
there's
for
people
me,
bashing them.
So for me,
people that dodged it.
But I mean, like, what gets me is like the biggest thing you could attribute to this anti-war movement is Woodstock. Like, that's literally like what people push and enforce is like that's what this anti-war movement was. It was all peace, love, and then you got Woodstock out of something like that.
Now I'm going conservative. There was no goddamn soldiers at Woodstock, okay?
Oh, no.
That's all I'm goddamn saying, all right? They would have been murdered in seconds, bro. Betas. A lot of fucking betas, bro. The Alphas were on stage.
But I mean, like, yeah, I think it's shitty, but I mean, like, it's kind of like what you expect when, majority of the people were against it.
It was a draft. It was a draft.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you can still voluntarily be in the military. It's not like, I mean, people were drafted for the war. Yeah, but I mean, there was voluntary sign up all over.
But when you have a draft, so what are we now trying to figure? Hey, did you? As they're walking down, you're like, did you voluntarily sign up?
That's what I'm saying. People aren't doing that. People are like, oh, you got drafted. No, they just see you're a soldier. They're not worried about if you got drafted or not. And then of course it's shitty.
And they're bashing out the jump. But there was a draft. There was a draft.
That's true.
People did not want to go just like you did it.
That's true.
And they were forced
to
go.
But just like you said, just like I'm saying, oh, wait, so you were drafted? Okay, we'll leave you alone. You were volunteer? We got a volunteer over here, over this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so I don't go on the aggressive side of that.
And neither do I, but that's what they did.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. It's this group thing. It's this group mentality where it's like you have a nation, a majority of people who are against it.
You can do it on other things,
and then you see.
Where's that? They didn't treat people like that for Afghanistan.
No.
Right?
No.
They didn't treat people like that with Iraq.
No.
Neither one of them were drafts.
But then you're also separating it like 50 years, So I mean, this is development throughout the time.
Before you can go World War II, World War I. It's the same thing. Like they didn't bash them how they bashed the Gulf.
That is true.
The Gulf of Mexico War. I mean,
but that was also one that. But that's the thing. The people eventually got behind it. None of the people eventually got behind it.
Right. Well, you can go.
So there was no bashing because the country eventually was behind it.
Most of these wars, though,
Vietnam was one of the ones I can think of recently where it was majority even.
Totally understand.
80%.
I'm just saying most of those wars were not drafts, though. It's different when it's a draft, man. You know what I mean? Like you can look at like a
Well, 1 and 2 were draft. 2 was a draft. Straight up.
It was. 2 was too. So, but that was for the Nazis. So that's one that people can get behind. I totally see.
People got behind that one because the world was collapsing. Totally. Simple as that.
Totally.
People got behind 9/11. There was nothing to get people behind the Vietnam War.
There was tried. They tried that they believed at the time.
They tried exactly.
But regardless, right? I'm right there with you.
And people shouldn't bash these veterans.
Why would you bash someone? But all I'm saying is, it's even one thing to bash someone. It's another thing to bash someone when there was a draft.
No choice.
Jail.
Your judges got off. The choice is not his.
Muhammad Ali did almost 3 years, right? Well, that's a heavyweight champion of the world. What would you have did? 5? You're gonna do 5 years? You're going to go over here for 8 months in this fucking war. How many of you would have chose 5 years in jail, bro?
Not a lot of people.
Not a lot of people. You can say what you want, but the time came, and then you go over there, they force you to kill people or else you die. You come back here all fucked up, and people spit on you.
Yeah, that's some shit, bro. That's some 100% some shit, man.
It's horrific, dog.
Yeah, I don't get where people could get any, like, people get that attached to something or get like that worked up or angry or something where like now you are against another person, especially
your
when
own
you
people.
Know there's no choice in the situation whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, people didn't ask what they did, whether it was volunteer, whether it was drafting or whatnot. So they just hated them as a whole, which I could see how people could get wrapped up and do something like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially, like I said, especially when you have, like, let's say 80% of the country, majority, 75%, 70%, 65% against it in such a way that, like, people are now angry that there's, I mean, like, yeah, you don't shoot the messenger, you don't, shun the pawns. Like, you take it to the commanders, the generals, whatever, from that point on.
That's all I'm saying. Exactly. Don't blame the people. Don't blame the people, bro.
Exactly,
blame the system. Blame it all. You know what I mean? Don't blame the people that just were like, fuck it, man. You put 5 years in jail, I gotta go.
I go to the war. Well, that's another, like, pot was like, smoked so fucking much in Vietnam because they had to deal with that shit.
And heroin.
Do something to deal with it. Heroin was big too. Heroin was real fucking big. And Vietnam War was also the war where they came out with the napalm, bro. Agent Orange, where they came out with the napalm, the jellified gasoline that you would just drop on fucking houses and people and just fucking you would shoot flamethrowers with shit like that. In the fucking gun nest, machine gun nest built in the side of fucking mountains. Like, you'd be shooting your flamethrower in these underground tunnels. Like, that's what you were doing.
Burn them up.
You'd hear people. I couldn't imagine. You see, you just burn a fucking room, like a little tunnel, with 10 people in it, and you just hear that shit. I don't know if I can handle that mentally. I doubt it. I don't fucking know. I'd like to think I could. I think I'm a strong person like that. But I mean,
listen,
literally.
The thing is, you couldn't, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't. But War Steve could.
Yeah.
You handle it when you're there.
Yeah.
You move right on to the next one.
But
you spray fire.
What I'm saying is dealing with it coming home. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying when I say deal with it.
And then someone says, fuck you. Why'd you go over there?
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? They made me. Literally, they made me.
It's like, what do you want me to say in this situation? That or jail?
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali 3, I wouldn't even say that, like, you would probably do something like 8. Like, something stupid.
If you're black, 18. 3. If you're black, you're getting 18 years. you're going to life sentence if you're black and say go to war, bro.
But I mean, I don't. People will get really like it. Like, I mean, you can look at other civilizations and think about like other heinous things that people did that they thought was the group think mentality, or just like for the people, for the betterment of society, whatever it might have been. I mean, like, you could look like at the plague when people were like, like literally like building walls around villages to keep these sick people in. Like, they remember, like there was one thing like in Italy, like they were saying that like one thing with their plague thing was like they decided that they would just lock up any home with the people inside in there, healthy or not, sick or not, would just lock them in. If it was suspected, you got locked in that home, done, you died in there, healthy or not, simple as that. But they also had the lowest number of plague cases.
I was just about to say, so, Steve, were they stupid or smart? Were they stupid or smart?
I don't know.
No, those people are smart. Those people are smart, bro. When you don't know what a germ is, bro, this is real quick for me, right?
Yeah.
When you don't know what a germ is, Someone getting sick is a ghost.
Yeah.
You get sick, and then your wife gets sick.
So
you don't know what a germ is, dog. You're just like.
But look, listen.
Hold the fuck. There's a demon.
This is what they say they thought germs were. They thought it was transferred in the air, which is what like they were smelling. Like they thought the smells were the carriers of disease. So like when you smell something putrid,
some diseases are
like a dying, some yeah. But I mean the plague is not.
Right.
Plague is so I mean like so when people would get these bubbles,
bloodborne, ain't it?
Like, fleas and shit. I think some is passed through like coughing and like germs, or maybe it might be slightly airborne. I don't know, but it was. They thought the germs were smells. They didn't think that they had germs on surface like organisms. So like when people was like lesions would bust and burst, it would smell like shit. So like that's why you see like the plague bringer masks. Like how long it is, they'd fill those with rose petals and shit and stuff that smelled good to combat the stink smells. Of course, it didn't fucking work. But yeah, I mean like the people were dumb. It's just early medicine. Like remember when Joe had that one medieval medicine historian?
Oh, yeah, it was a woman, wasn't it? She brought like a ball and chain.
I remember like the she was explaining the barber saw where like people would go and like they thought you were sick, so you had too much blood. Would drain some of your blood out.
Yeah, they put leeches on you sometimes too.
Yeah, just like you have too much blood in your body.
But I'm just trying to put myself with like the first time you see a cold dog.
Yeah,
like just imagine like there's only like 15 of us. One of us gets sick and just starts like coughing all the time, throwing up and shit.
Yeah,
and then another one does. And you're just like, I would feel like it's a ghost. Like I feel like that would be on interesting. I'm just like, there's a demon. I think I'm building a cement block around them, Steve.
Yeah, I think
I don't know what's going on.
I mean,
definitely. I'm
like
done
I said
here.
with Italy, like Venice was good because since it was an island, they didn't have to worry much about rodents coming over from there.
Maybe that's why they secede so much in Civ.
Yeah, that was one thing. Yeah, but the plague also like Italy, like that's the one thing that they attributed the low numbers of plague death to. I mean, they eradicated it. I want to say a couple years before London and them did. So I might not be too accurate on that.
But they lowered the numbers.
Simply by just locking them up. Yeah, I'd probably agree that
if you don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree that they were smart. I mean, but I mean, like we look at today's society, you're like, well, London and them, they still survived. I mean, they may have,
but they lost half their population.
Exactly,
they lost half their population.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Let's think about if it was zombies, right? If
the global population dropped so much,
imagine if zombies are real, dog, and you're just like, oh, you can't lock them up in cement houses. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel you would feel about the first cold. You would look at it like a zombie, dog. Yeah. I don't know what this is. Why no one calls. Why are you coughing? No one has diarrhea. Why are you got diarrhea? Why are you tired? Why are you sweating? Oh, you know what I mean? Like nothing. I feel like people are just do not use their empathy enough, dog. I'm really trying to understand how something would be when you don't understand it. You're just horrified, bro. I'm trying to say like horrifically horrified. But you're just fucked up, You're just like, I'll do whatever I can to make sure a fourth person don't have this.
Yeah, I mean, people. That's what I'm saying. Like people's cruelty when it comes to them thinking it's what's right and the right thing to do. It doesn't surprise me how people could get into that type of scenario where they're bashing veterans. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yes, if you're bashing people, yes, but I mean, like when everyone's doing it, it's hard not to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's just human behavior. I mean, that's just simple.
I ain't never bashing nobody with bodies. That's all I'm saying. Dude. If you ain't got a body, don't be bashing people with bodies.
Yeah, I mean, those veterans would get discharged with their weapons. Like they would have like M16 back at their house.
One time I said something that I regret about veterans where I was just like, there was this guy. I just always remember him. Like it was a dude in I believe we were at a coffee shop or something. And he was going up and I can't remember if it was a coffee shop or a restaurant. But like he had asked if they had like a military discount.
Did someone flip out?
And they didn't.
Right.
And he flipped out. And I just I remember I wrote this status where I was just like, look, man, just, I said, try to make it funny, like I did with the Rambo thing. And it kind of backfires over time, you know? But it's like, you try to make it funny where I'm just like, look, just because, you wanted a Camaro, doesn't mean that you're entitled to things basically.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Even though I agree to there should be a military discount. But it was like the way this guy handled it was like, I don't got this. What do you think? I did all this for you.
That was
I didn't like the way that gentleman handled it. Looking back on that, I wish I'd never said that.
That was one big thing I didn't like about working at Mission Barbecue. Was like, if you saw a first responder or serviceman, you'd have to thank them for their service. That's like a forced thing. Whereas I didn't mind so much with like, cops or like first responders or like even like, if like a decorated guy came in or whatever. But like, remember we had this like 12 group of kids, just like kids in PT, they're in PT training. And I remember I'm supposed to thank them for their service.
You had to do that?
I'm supposed to thank them for their service.
They made you do that? Why would they make you do that?
I mean, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. I mean, like, of course, like they say go out and do it, but I mean, they didn't know how I didn't do it, Like
That's
you're supposed to always do it.
Like Coast Guard came in. How do you feel?
I mean, I think Coast Guard plays a big thing, I mean, it's like.
I'm just joking.
Yeah,
they always talk shit about the Coast Guard.
They always talk shit about the Coast Guard.
What about a bunch of reserves?
Because like
reserves come in.
You know what? A big thing. That's a huge thing. It's like a lot of reserves come in. It's just like, whoa. Like that's what a lot of these kids were. Maybe these kids were past private training. Maybe they were just reserve. They just show up on Sundays.
They didn't have bodies.
They show up on Sundays. They come in.
I think people that caught a body or that seen a body get caught.
Yeah.
If you had to deal with someone dying next to you, thank you for service.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, bro.
If you had to kill someone, seriously.
I'm saying I never minded for like cops or like EMT or firefighters. I'm like, well, you put out fires. You run fire buildings. I mean, you help. People's medical problems.
The older I got,
cop,
I got more empathetic with it because I understood it more. But like when I'm a kid, I'm just like, I ain't doing that.
Fuck 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck 12.
Exactly. When you get older, you're just like, no, bro, there's some badasses in the military. You don't even know how to hold a knife properly.
Yeah.
You don't even know how to hold a knife properly, dude. This guy will hit you from a mile and a half away.
We talked about it before. Like,
I like to go village style.
The first recorded Medal of Honor, we're just like, you're not that guy. Simple enough. You would not beat that guy ever.
Yeah, exactly.
You would not beat that guy.
You never amount to that guy in any life.
He could have he literally could have those shots in him, and would still probably beat you.
He would have killed you 1-on-1.
He would have killed you that day right there. He killed plenty of people that day.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
It's just like, wow.
I'm just saying you got to be careful, like who you talk shit to. Like
especially right around some Bomber City, man.
Bro, like people got bodies out here. But it's saying like I'm like you've seen like nerds,
not only that, but like
quote unquote nerdy looking people that are like Iraq veterans.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that dude that you think like works at GameStop could have 4 bodies.
Exactly. You know
what I mean? Could be 2 kids.
Either that, or maybe he killed 50 cats in his lifetime, and yours first victim because you've been a dick
and you don't know how to hold a knife.
Exactly.
That's what I just keep thinking. Like
exactly.
You don't know. I like to go out to the village where it's like that person would kill me. I like to think I'm a badass. You know what I mean? I don't know nothing compared to a veteran.
Exactly. You've seen some fucking war.
A veteran.
You've seen some combat. You've seen some modern combat.
Even if you didn't see combat, you know more.
You still have some training in you.
Thank you for your service.
You still have some No, but for me, you need that body. You need that body in the military. You need that body in the military. Unless you're like a Marine.
I don't know if you remember.
Unless you're like some crazy Marine or like Special Forces.
Me, you, Tyler Tucker. We went to a party one time, right? It was like on the water, middle of nowhere. We didn't know anyone, and there was this. It was live, and do you remember? Like I randomly ran into my cousin. Do you remember that at all?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Is this the same party?
Maybe you weren't there.
Is this the same party where like the people came up to us and were just like they were asking like. Are you guys supposed to be here or something?
Yeah, the military guys, bro. They were military guys. Yeah.
I don't know. See, I know that, but I don't know if I was there. I know that. I know that. I don't think I was there, bro. I don't think I was there.
I don't know if you were there or not, but basically, it's like I remember, we're like 15, bro, and we're at like an old party, like not old, but like 25-year-olds.
Exactly.
And there's like these 2 cocky ass fucking vets.
Random kids here,
bro. Just come. There's like, do you know anybody here? We're like, you know what I mean? And I remember like they left us alone. And I remember like we're out back and we're sitting in a circle, and I randomly met my cousin there, and like we're all in a circle, and these people come up and like I don't know where these 2 guys are talking, and it's like I remember the one guy like looks at us all and he's like, how many taps you think it'll take just to wave them out? And he's like, And then the same guy, he was like, what, a second hold? He's like, probably 2 half a second holds. I could get them all. Like, talking about us, bro.
Yeah,
like, on top of Humvee and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, holding the fucking thing. I'm like, I'm not, like, scared or nothing, you know?
But it's like...
Because I'm like, I'll run away. I'll outrun these guys probably. I like to think I can outrun them. You know what I mean? But I was like, I believe you guys are vets. Like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you trying to, like, scare some kids? Like,
yeah, like, what
we're just kids, dog. Like, you want us to leave that bad? We're just leave. Like, bless you. You don't got to be out here telling us.
That's where you look at me like, where's your Humvee?
Yeah, but seriously, with that guy out there, I'm just like, bro, that guy had bodies, dog. Seriously, like,
he's definitely chopped some people up,
you would have to hear how they said it, bro.
Yeah. He was with his squad mate right there.
That dude, like, yeah. That dude that was on top of that Humvee, that guy that was like 2 half second holds. I always remember that.
That's fucking sick,
because
bro.
After that, I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? So I did my research and it was showing like with them big guns, you never can hold them down. You just don't you just touch them and that's like 50 shots.
And you drag that bitch.
Yeah.
So it's like
they just touch it and you lay them down. When they put them on helicopters.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, you gotta hear those A-10 Thunderbirds, bro. Just coming in with double minigun. This is fucking. It's a jet. It has. Oh, I think they do have them in SIV. Oh. Like I think America specifically has A-10s.
You're talking to get them, me.
I'm not saying get them. I'm saying we got them. We just got some crazy ass Gatling guns on fucking jet.
Hey, what are you talking about? They go underneath and just lays out like
and those aren't 2 second holds. That bitch is just.
Like a bazillion shots at once.
That bitch is he's dragging that bitch.
That's what it sounds like.
Taking it across, man.
There ain't even. It's not even a roll of the tongue. It's just a brrr because it's just like a solid sound.
So fast.
Yeah.
So fast. And they just load this up with incendiary devices. It's like just incendiary round just blowing up and shit. It's like
it's crazy to think that like we use weapons like that for nothing.
I imagine just getting shot the fuck up by them and just being like, cool.
But it's like we literally use those weapons for nothing else. Like to kill people.
I couldn't imagine getting hit by that and like you get blown away and you're just like that happened. Like whoa. It's like this is incendiary rounds.
Just imagine
from a jet.
This picture. Everybody in the world right now is just trying to build the best thing they kill you with. That's really what it is. We're all just trying to build the best killing device.
It's like you ever seen that experimental rail gun from like the Navy where like it just like shoots like hot and it's like just flashes and
real,
hot.
Yeah, that's real.
They released video of that shit. Well, I mean, I don't think it's like you can't blow a hole into a ship with it. You know, you can sink a small ship. That's what I'm saying.
Have you seen those lasers that are on the ships though? Yeah, they can bang shit out the air apparently.
I think it fries like systems, like it heats electronics, like
not the one they showed.
Does it do explosions? Dude, like big explosions?
The video that I watched that you can look up, it's a drone. He shoots a drone out of the air, bro.
Bro,
he blows a drone up.
What does it sound like? What does it sound like? Is it?
No, it's not. No,
it better not be some.
No,
it better be some.
If you're too loud, I feel like I don't. It's been a while since I watched the video, but I feel like it's like a zoop. You know what I mean? It's like a zoop.
That sounds cool as
fuck. Yeah, it's like it just goes.
That sounds cool as
fuck.
There's
not even like there's nothing at the end. It's just like zoop.
I just wish it made some type of stupid Vine noise. It's just like yeet.
He needs some help.
Yeet. It just yeet. It just yeet.
As you're dropping them, just we need some help. We need some help.
That's like the new like commander speak. Give him some milk. Yeet. It's like got some fucking American Vine commander shit. It's funny because I call them Vines, but it doesn't exist no more.
No, it's TikTok.
That's what it's like. How did that thing get bought? Is TikTok Twitter?
TikTok is Vine.
But I'm saying, but Twitter owns it, right? No? Because that's the whole thing. Twitter owned Vine. They bought Vine and shut Vine down.
Oh, and they made a TikTok probably.
Did they make TikTok, though? I don't know.
If they bought Vine, they made TikTok.
So now I just want to see who TikTok owns.
I'm putting money on that.
If TikTok is a private company, man, it's making a big bank.
Entire mouth virginity on this now.
Oh boy, I hope he's wrong.
It just says he's wrong. Even
I got the first thing that comes out is like owned by China, like owned by whom? You know, it's owned by. Oh, it might actually be. Oh no, so it's a startup based in Shanghai. Oh, it was Musically turned into
that's what it was.
TikTok. ByteDance. It's a Chinese. It's owned by China,
which is the biggest social media right now,
especially amongst kids.
Wow, I like how you threw that out there. Like,
well, I mean, like
you're like an Asian general right there, like talking to people, especially among kids.
Am I in on it? We gotta get them. We gotta get them kids. I mean, it's just like, control the kids. I mean,
it's pretty funny. There's like this guy I work with walked hella far. Like another guy I work with, it's like
they put it on TikTok.
He's like, God damn, what are you doing, man? You walk to China? And there's like this Asian painter that's walking by, and it's like, why it's got to be China? There's a lot of far places.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like perfect timing.
Yeah, it's like, why would you even get mad at that? Was it geeking?
Yeah, he was joking. Yeah, it was just 100% a joke.
Yeah,
it was so funny. You know?
Always get those, man. It's like that's one of the funniest thing about being like just slightly looking Asian. One of the funniest experiences is people trying to figure out what you are, and it's like Chinese, Japanese, or Asian.
That's what you gotta be on them.
Yeah, but it's like
I feel like you could get away.
Like, they're both Asian.
You remember that old Bangkok joke? I feel like you could get away with that.
What do you mean Bangkok? Like during these?
Remember you'd be like, what's the capital of?
Oh, you him and a dick.
Thailand.
Bangkok? Yeah, Thailand. Bangkok.
Bangkok. You could get away with that.
Can I?
You could get away. It's like Bangkok.
We're doing
thing, bro.
We're doing pull. Everyone around me.
Say it like a
everyone around me. Everyone around me is like sterile.
Thanks.
Thanks. And I'm the only one allowed to do it. It's
like crying. It's like, oh, he always does that.
That's just Steve's thing. You got me, Steve.
So funny.
You got me,
so
Steve.
Funny because he's Asian.
It's like everyone who plays like this game, but like like I'm the only one allowed to do it.
He just nabbed you in the balls, dude. He's Asian. It's like free pass.
Everyone's just like, oh, it's like playing it off. It's like every Asian does it though, but it's just accepted.
Asians just now.
We'd have less friends than we do now.
It is, bro, but Asians definitely have like taken over Maryland colleges.
Did I tell you about that one Asian comedian who does the Mari bit? No, did I tell you about him? No. It's like he does this bit. He's just like you never see. He's like I'm proud of being Asian because you never see an Asian guy on Mari. And he's like if an Asian guy does go on Mari, he's gonna be easily debunked. Like Mari, look. Baby got big eye. I got small eye. It's just like soft, just like immediately soft.
Simple as that. Yeah, you can.
But simple as that, you've never seen an Asian Amari, so probably check there.
Yeah, that definitely is true. I guess we got that one, but I mean,
we do some wild shit. So,
and to be honest with you, I've never seen a white person on Mari. I think it's a black show, bro.
I've seen white people on Mari.
I've never really seen black people on Jerry Springer.
You do. That is a lot of white people on there. You're right. Huh.
We got our shows, I guess.
Interesting.
You ever seen a black person on Price is Right?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
What about Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that's up for grabs.
I see us. You see him on Jeopardy. You see him on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Yeah. No, definitely. But you don't see a lot of Asians on these game shows. You don't see Asians on Price is Right. You don't see Asians on Wheel of Fortune either.
As it should be.
Agree. Keep those fucking chicks off the goddamn.
Yeah, from here.
You can't
blacks and whites.
You can't enjoy good American programming.
You can't win our game shows.
You probably don't even speak English, so you can't even go in there.
That guy, they got literally a doc out on him. He was like, he was the ultimate Price is Right guy.
Yeah,
bro, he just figured out they repeated shit.
Yeah, he just studied it.
Repeated shit.
He went home with like 8 gifts or some shit.
Bro, it was way crazy.
Went home with some crazy fucking money.
Crazy, bro.
Some crazy money.
He was like, ever since I was a kid, I noticed. He's like, I would watch every episode. I noticed that they repeat. Once I noticed it, I was like, well, whatever. Then I got pretty good at it.
How'd you not notice it? It's just like
he's like, I was like,
because you think people study that game hard. It's like cult following, you know.
You think so?
You think people would pay? I mean, look how people go to the show and they're just like, let's go, Drew, Bob, let's go. Like, you think people would watch it, you know? I think a lot of people go to those shows, man. I think people it's just one of those things that have a cult following. I don't know. Maybe it's just portrayed that way. Who knows?
But basically, he's like, he was just started getting good. He was telling people like that he'd be watching it with. He would predict the prices and shit. And eventually, dog, he just made a fucking portfolio, dog, of every price ever. You know, it's just like shit this high, dog. He just every price ever studied it.
Making money.
Nailed them all.
Nailed them all, just guessing prices left and right. He's up on the stand.
That's way easier than the guy that's at Jeopardy, though.
Jeopardy's tough, man. You know?
Tough.
I feel good about getting 4 or 5 of those, and it's like,
dude, I get one in Jeopardy that ain't a sport question. I'm like, yeah.
I get some in the first round. I get like 4 or 5 of them.
First round,
once in a while. The second round, you know, I might get like 2 or 3.
I have to rewatch a recent.
It all depends the subjects, though. You know, like because
one thing I haven't watched in 10 years.
One thing that always will get me, like they'll talk about like old literature, but like you know, this 1662 novel took place in St. Mary's, Maryland, back then during the American Renaissance. What is the name of this book or something? You know,
they're like plays in 1200s, and you're like, there was plays in the 1200s.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're going back 10,000.
Yeah, it's like and they got the one that's like it would be like P's and Q's, and it's like these are P words with Q's in them. And I'm like, oh, I might be able to do this one. Okay, Pique. Yeah, I got one. It's like after like my 5th guess.
I got none.
And never did I once go, what is Pique? Like it's Pique, parkour.
And someone steals that.
Pacquiao.
Someone steals that because you didn't say
Pacquiao, Pac-Man. Yeah, everything. And
you
got 1 out of the second. You start taking them like a golf celebration. You're just like,
you see that Asian that got banned
from what?
Golfing dog.
Asian got banned from golfing?
Yeah, bro.
Outraged. Racist.
In Japan.
Racist.
In Japan.
Racist.
He
discrimination against Japanese people.
He was swinging a golf club, and someone took a pic, and he fucking did double flute saloon, baby. Fuck you to both of them.
The golfer?
3 years. That's
Japan for you, man.
Yeah.
They don't got no tolerance for that shit. That's why you see those fans clean up everywhere they go. You don't do shit like that in Japan.
That doesn't seem really boring. Though,
but you do kind of like wallow in depression and work hard.
Like,
so.
Are you telling me that like do you believe there's days no one blacks out in Japan? Like not one person blacked out.
No, they have a crazy party culture, man.
They do party.
They have a ridiculous party culture. Like
they get fucked up.
No, but that's the thing. Since they're so uptight, they do real wild shit. But yeah, they do, man. Yeah, they do. You can literally.
You do coke?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah.
I think I function. Like I mean, like we talking about.
So you think they do like all the drugs over there?
They do. They have a high party culture over there.
Super against that on the government
because they're so uptight in like the work area. Has the same counterculture. Like it's funny because you see the same thing in Korea, but not as much. But that's why people dive in the game so fucking hard because that's just what they used to escape.
So you think guys are just working a 12-hour shift and is raid for 6?
Yeah, Japan has a huge party culture.
Right back to work.
They have like a huge like red light district type style.
Drugs were illegal, hardcore.
Oh yeah, but I mean, people find a way. People do shit.
But I thought the prosecutions were hardcore.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just because now a lot of people have guns. I don't think you just have shootouts because of that. So you just have drug trafficking. And it's organized because the Japanese who would sell coke better in some streets where it's illegal other than some fucking yakuza. Exactly. Well,
you bring a fucking you bring a Tylenol PM into fucking Philippines, 70 years.
You're done.
Seriously, bro. Did you see that guy that got caught up with that?
Yeah, I mean they said
it was like
they literally said Duterte killed people.
He still is.
They say he killed
But
people.
even before that, bro, this is like years ago,
bro. They said he did some himself.
So did Trump.
So they say. Trump ain't got no bodies.
Picture that.
He has blood on his hands.
No, it's just funny. It's just funny to picture your president going around. It's like, I'll do this one. But I remember there was this guy who brought.
It's been a while.
It was like 18 e-pills, dog.
Been a while.
Life in prison.
Probably shot in the head. Literally just shooting people. Remember that was that one time it was like ISIS in the Philippines? Like, isn't that weird? Like, it's like, whoa, okay.
Propaganda.
ISIS in the Philippines, okay.
Wow. Went across seas, huh?
Well, that's what I mean. I was just like, of all the places, I'm thinking. I mean, like,
I feel like that was like 4 refugees that got together.
A couple of villages.
Did a shooting.
A couple of villages in the Philippines, of course. They were like, well, if we're gonna kill drug dealers, we'll kill you. No problem.
Don't burn the rice bag.
I mean, it's just weird to hear a country when you hear it on the news. They're like, oh yeah, the Philippines have declared martial law in this province of the country, and it's just like. Oh, so you can just go in there and just fuck shit up, huh?
Martial law.
Go there and fuck shit up. It's like I don't know, man. It's just weird seeing like countries where shit hit the fan, like a big thing like Hong Kong. I mean, people know about that. It's been going on for like 4 months now.
It's taking forever.
But it's getting crazier. It's getting worse. I mean, it's just what it is. You know.
Well,
it's
like I said, they were gonna repeal it, so now what are they fighting over?
Well, they did repeal it, but now it's like now they have the thing where like they're now trying to ban face masks in protests because they have the most intrusive facial recognition systems in the world. They want to ban those face masks for protesting and shit or mass gatherings. So they want to take that away. So that's now they're like, no, that's simply not what's going down. So now they're still fighting. They're like, nope, that's not it.
From the government, though, I kind of want that.
Yeah, especially in a country like that.
You know what, though? I got the most.
But they're not. But so like they're not. So they're not. For me, they're not asking for much because it's like it's all about China wanting to be in control of Hong Kong. That's what it comes down to.
Here's my thing, right? I got the most advanced, right?
Yeah.
I'll get you one way or another.
You know what's weird?
I'll piece it together.
Did you know that a part of their government is simply reserved for business leaders and operates as such? Like they have a left and a right, and then they have the business leaders who are also in on like that control the government. Isn't that weird?
It makes me think it's that Alabama.
100%. Yeah. And that's one thing where it's like most of them, because they have a majority because most of them want to be with China so that they can make more money. You know, simple. I mean, it's like it's just so weird, but it's also like it's not cool, but it's also like inspiring to see like people rise up for something that like, especially Hong Kong, like they believe in. You know, there's like, look, no facial, no, fuck this, fuck that. No, we don't want none of that. We don't want China to come in and encroach on our, country.
That was awesome, man. But I always feel like the one that slept on is Egypt, bro. Like Egypt literally overthrew their government.
Yeah.
They literally changed their government, bro.
Yeah.
Just from burning shit and rioting.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? There's too many of you. This guy ain't that good. Nah, we're giving it a chance.
Yeah, man. It's just like it's like again, like it's just it's inspiring. It's like I don't want to use the word cool because like I mean I just don't think that's like the proper hard, word. Right? But inspiring.
What about like Ukraine, where it's like they voted a president and everybody's just like, no,
revote. Just not leaving.
It's like revote.
Just not leaving now.
Now they have a second one.
And it's weird to like. You ever seen that video where they cover the leader of like Ukraine? It's like this crazy like he's like a millionaire like Instagrammer like he just goes on Instagram and shit like he's like pro like Putin and shit. Like he'll go and like show himself like shooting
he has to be
like Instagram like he'll show himself like shooting like 2 M249s or some shit like with women and shit, all that, just like typical Instagram stuff. It's weird. It's just weird.
They actually don't got much to do.
What goes on in the world? Yeah, it is weird.
I've seen that basically like Ukraine has to suck Putin's dick apparently.
Pretty much. I mean,
they're pretty much just that's all they got.
Well, and they have a huge part of the country. Well, not huge. I wouldn't say huge.
It's also Yemen. Yemen's sucking some dick too. They got to suck one of their dicks, like either.
If you're a country Saudi like that where you got some shit going on, you gotta suck a little dick in the international community.
You know how it is when you're in risk and you got like 3 countries left. You're just like, if I don't suck dick, I'm gonna die.
Some civ, you're just like, all right, well, I might give you these open borders, I
never.
You gotta pay me.
I never because you don't get much. It's not worth
You're hardly to negotiate with, huh?
Yeah, no, I don't give nothing like that.
I'm trying to open up trade routes.
I usually don't even give embassies.
I'm importing religion.
I'm not even a fan of embassies.
Yeah, but
if I'm being successful, the only way I'm gonna do embassies if I need something. I'm -3 silver.
That's why people turn against you, man. That's why people always fight you. You gotta concede some of those things, man.
Nah, dude. Yeah. Nah, bro. Strong military.
Yeah.
Stay at my walls. They won't never come.
And then the first thing you gotta do is like when you meet someone,
my walls of Babylon.
You send them that 25 gold delegation. Get on their friendly side immediately.
I ain't sending no fucking gold. Get the fuck out of here.
See, this is where
I ain't sending no gold to no motherfucker.
You simply lose. You simply lose.
So you might get an embassy out of me if you could sweet talk me.
And they're gonna fight you and they're gonna lose because they don't like you now.
If you got something to offer me and you don't have a religion that you're gonna impose,
they don't like you.
I'll talk to you.
And now what? Sometimes
I'm more of like, see, I'm always kind of the guy that's like, you can go ahead and have your, let's say there's 6 guys, you can go ahead and have your 5 embassies.
Right.
I just want 1 embassy with whoever the other strongest person is. And we're going to beat the other 4 every time. Maybe. So much stronger than
until I get all these military packs going, and then
no, I've already got the city states. I've got city states
from religious worship. Submarines on your coastlines, and
you can't even get through. You can't even get through because I got city states bombing you.
You're blown away.
Bombing you.
It's just you don't have enough puppet governments because we're just so powerful. We just
I'm not gonna puppet. I only annex. I told you that.
So that's the thing.
I only annex.
You already got my war profile wrong, Steve.
Right, exactly. You don't know what's puppeteering.
I'm feeding you false information, so you know what's coming.
Tune in for more Civ Talk. Love you all. Thank you for keep tuning in.
We appreciate it.
For keep it coming.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. That's the Shit Show Live.